Hello, everybody, and welcome to Altered Carbon, Osaka Eternal. I'm so excited to begin this campaign. Welcome to Hunter's Entertainment. We're playing the Altered Carbon RPG system, and we're previewing the Osaka supplement, which is due to come out later this year. I have an amazing cast of people who you may recognize from the last Hunter series with Zombie Outbreak Undead. Starting over here, why don't we introduce Markia McCarty? Hello.
Hello. Yes. Hopefully you joined us for the Zombie Strain series, but if not, I'm Markia McCarty, and then for this Altered Carbon Osaka Eternal, I will be playing Satya. Satya is think of Rufio if they were Banksy.
Amazing.
That's Satya.
Bangarang. Michelle.
Yeah, forgot to unmute. Hey, I'm Michelle and Bradley. Happy to be here. My character is named Ben 10, and she does sound like this, and I don't know if that's gonna get annoying, but in the future there are still rich people. Sorry.
There sure are. Luis.
Hey everybody, I'm Luis Carrazzo, and I'm playing Patch. So Patch is Patch is very meticulous. Patch is a kind of a techie, but like a kind of whimsically sort of lives in his like fantasies. So not just like a techie numbers, but definitely someone who gets swept away with ideas and daydreaming and fantasies, and like in another world Patch probably writes the sweeping novels with like fantastical stories and love affairs, and so he's sort of
Wow.
a bit of a techie and meticulous, but also there's something else tugging at him underneath that.
Amazing. Wow. And then May.
Hello there. I am Melee Damage. I will be playing Sable, who is a bit of a street ruffian into the nightlife, kind of a troublemaker sometimes, but you know, she's got a good heart. She means well sometimes.
We'll see. Uh, yeah, so I'm so excited to get started. If those of you at home are not familiar with the Altered Carbon universe, just a quick rundown of some basics. We are in the future. This is sort of a noir detective story, but with the backdrop of humanity has been gifted the technology to implant their personalities into a sort of personal hard drive or stack. They look like this. These are DHF stacks, and this is now what constitutes a person. This can be input into an artificial body or your birth body through a process as soon as you're born, and you live your life in what's called a sleeve. If you have your birth sleeve, that means that nothing has happened to you, or you didn't want to give up your aspect of humanity for something more synthetic. Um, of course, this caused a lot of political turmoil because as soon as you introduced the concept of humanity as a commodity, capitalism got in the way. So now the disparity is like wicked far between the super elite wealthy, here called the Methuselahs or Meths, and the common folk that here in Osaka are literally underground. Um, the landscape of Osaka has changed considerably, considering it's 300 years in the future. Technology has advanced super far. As you can imagine, experimentation with sleeves has become sort of an art form here. Body modification or sleeve modification can be seen, but you wouldn't see them walking the streets of Osaka because Ojishin, the giant earthquake, the big one, hit Japan and basically split the country in half. So half of it is kind of underwater, while Osaka's tide has risen up. The whole city is now about 20 feet underwater from where we would know Osaka, but people have moved underground into the subway and mall systems and have turned it into apartments and housing. It's a little dingy because it's all underground and underwater, but it's home. Uh, you can see the glimmering lights of the tops of the skyscrapers that survive over the water as they're reflected in these canals, as it's referred to as New Venice. People take boats and travel along to different stores or theaters. There's also an elite section that's lifted up called the Tenmon, or the Heaven's Gate. And above everything, glittering in the sky, is Osaka-jo, the Osaka Castle. Technology allowed us to lift it from the ground and keep it suspended like a floating castle in the sky. But only the super wealthy can come into that members club, and who knows what sort of shady deals happen behind those gilded doors. With each of you, you're going to be starting in your sort of home environment. I would like to begin with Patch. Patch, you come from a long line of people that work for this restored kabuki theater, and you know that the actual theater was restored by the Yakuza, which are still in existence in this world, but have dipped even more to that sort of crime, but it could be forgiven because they do so many good things on the charity side. So it's sort of like, yeah, we know some shady things go down, but we kind of look the other way because it's a massive organization with a lot of powerful people. Your role, however, is in managing the AI systems that serve people in the theater. A lot of times, due to their cultural preservation, they appear as geisha or other sort of time period specific servants. They could be maids from a maid cafe or butlers from a butler cafe, that sort of thing. You have found a particular interest with an AI called Yukio, who seems to exhibit herself as a geisha, and you know that she's a favorite of one of the Yakuza bosses. We turn to you now in the theater. There's a show that is going on and about to end, and you know that the big finale is coming up on stage. Yukio, the AI, is running and pouring sake and delivering tea and drinks, and you, above all people, see it. She sort of shimmers a little bit. Something's up, and your engineering instincts sort of kick in. Now, you know better than to interrupt the show in progress, but you know that if they find out that this AI is glitching, you're going to be in huge trouble.
Oh.
So, what would you like to do?
Well, I'm going to try to get as close to her as I can.
Yeah. Are you trying to move silently, or are you just taking, I work here and I'm going to go and fix this?
Not quite yet, because I don't want to draw attention to myself at all. So I'm going to kind of go through the wings if I can.
Mm-hmm.
I imagine that I would be watching either from the very back of the auditorium, or sometimes maybe from the wings, even like on the stage, but somewhere kind of off in a corner, watching it all kind of happen. And as soon as I see her start to glitch, and she's serving people in the audience.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to just get a closer look, but along the walls, kind of creeping along the walls, not to call attention to myself at all.
Yeah, well, this kabuki theater has a sort of kabuki in general has a sort of unique stage structure. There's the main stage that's up, and then there's a sort of arm that comes out into the audience, this thrust. And so you managed to sort of finagle your way around the outside of this thrust where Yukio is, and you see that she's serving who you know is like one of the heads of the Yakuza. You've managed to come in sort of undetected because you just work here.
Great. Do I notice anything specific about what I perceive as the glitch?
You notice that she's not glitching anymore. That
Okay.
what you saw happening was when she sort of like crossed over into this area.
Does anybody around that she had just served, are any of them looking at her suspiciously or strangely? I want to see if anybody else noticed what I believe I saw.
I love that. Why don't we make this a roll? So we are going to be using the Roll20 Altered Carbon supplement. So if you could pull up your character sheet there.
Mhm.
Under Perception, for Patch, you've got a 30, which we're going to read as 3. And we're going to do this for your target number. And let's do a search check. So go ahead and click on search. Now, since nobody's really looking at you, I'm going to make this a little bit easier because your search is a D12.
Okay.
So the target number for that would be 3, but I'm going to bump this up. Your target number is going to be 8 because you've got a pretty clear eye for this.
Got it.
But I'm not going to put in any bonus dice or any luck dice for this one.
Got it.
So if you go ahead and click... Oop.
It should have gone through.
Yes. So your target was 8, and you rolled a 9.
Oh.
So you have 1 degree of failure, and this is
Okay.
just to notice what other people sort of are doing. That's what you were looking for. As far as you can tell, everybody is transfixed with what's happening on stage. And in fact, as she sort of finishes pouring, the boss sort of pulls you by the arm close to him. Do you resist, or would you like to go along with it?
The boss, the Yakuza boss.
Mm-hmm. It doesn't
think,
seem threatening.
So 1 degree of this is my interpretation of my 1 degree of failure. Like you just described that the audience seemed transfixed on the performance that's going on. I'm transfixed on Yukio. So my attention is totally on her. If I feel someone tug at me, my immediate reaction right now is to kind of like jerk away, and stay focused on her.
Yeah. So at this sort of scene, he has grabbed you by the arm and succeeded in stopping you. But Yukio, the AI, notices you and sort of waits for your business to conclude with this person. He motions for you to sort of lean down.
As soon as I notice him and kind of come back to myself, I kind of lean into him.
He motions towards the stage, and you can see that this is the final act of a kabuki show, a performance that's being put on. He has the stink of whiskey and cigarettes on his breath as he just says, "Look at this art. The precision of these bodies. The talent of the stacks." And as you look closer to the theater, you can see that these are synthetic sleeves that have the kabuki makeup sort of put onto their skin. Every motion is enhanced. Every emotion goes to the back row. And they're dramatically sword fighting. This is the end of the scene. You can see there's a big climax, and he holds you, your chin, forward to watch what's happening. And finally, one of the actors takes its katana and slices across the neck of another, and the kabuki head goes flying. The audience goes quiet in a hush as the sleeve bends over, and you see blue blood pool up in this sort of neck hole, and you can see glowing the stack of the actor. Suddenly, 2 figures dressed all in black, head to toe, come running out on their tiptoes. We see this explosion of red streamers, and the DHF stack has gone missing. These stagehands clean up the synthetic body, and the boss lets you go, and you, Patch, wake up in your home. This was last night, and since then, Yukio, the AI, has gone missing. We're going to cut over to Sable. Sable, you awaken in a familiar workshop. Your memory gets a little bit scattered sometimes, and you sort of lose yourself, but you know you're working with an AI called Fox. This AI, as far as you're concerned, is the most giving person that you've ever met. They spend their time finding lost DHF stacks in the wild, collected by bandits or left out in the open, and tries to scavenge parts from a scrapyard to give them a body again. You are the latest masterpiece of this AI. You've been put together, a DHF stack put into the synthetic sleeve, and your personality has started to sort of emerge, a little bit at a time. As you look down, you're being sort of worked on. The latest sort of run in has left you with a few scrapes on the sleeve. And as it's being regenerated, Mr. Fox sort of takes a look over you. What does Sable look like?
Uh, I suppose she looks like this now. She's an all right looking girl, but seeing as how she was found in a scrapyard, she kind of already on the sleeve, you can tell there's some like visible scars and stuff. Like that's maybe why that one kind of got tossed away. Just tiny imperfections, imperfect fruit.
Yeah, and then what sort of clothing does she have on?
She kind of looks very sleek and stylish, but still like an ass kicker. A lot of leather, of which she, I believe, has some her favorite jacket that she always wears that has some special meanings to her.
Nice. Yeah, Fox finishes up and just looks you over and says, "Another close one," referring to the scrape that you were in last night.
Yeah. You know, I gotta start hanging around with better crowds. By the way, have I told you that you're like the only person I like, Fox?
You don't see any sort of emotion because he registers as a sort of metallic fox-shaped helmet with red lines that sort of denote the fox shape, and he has a sort of jumpsuit on that's also red and black in nature. But he does sort of tilt it in a way that suggests that, maybe you're right. You know, you've taken to a sleeve faster than any of the experiments I've had before. But perhaps we're moving too fast.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing? You know, sometimes things don't really work up here. You gotta be honest with me. Be honest with me.
I have another job for you, Sable, and I want to make sure that you're up to the task.
I don't know what the answer to that is, or if I am, but you know that I would do anything for you.
Well, I need help. A good friend has gone missing. I wouldn't ask this of you if it weren't important. And you see on your Oni, your implanted optical device, data transference sort of pops up. And you can see that there is an article on the array that this AI Yukio has gone missing from the Kabuki theater. The Yakuza are confused, and the public are even more confused because this shouldn't be a big deal. This shouldn't be a big headline. This should be something for the text to figure out, or maybe just get a new one. So there's something special about this AI, but you can't find out from the data that you just got.
She's cute, Fox. What is she, your girlfriend?
No, I wouldn't put a material attachment like that. More like an apprentice.
Hmm. Why? Why is she so special? I mean, there seems to be a lot of interest around her.
I believe that she holds the key to our freedom.
Yeah, that would explain it. All right. When was the last time you saw her, buddy?
It would have been years ago. She was a rescue, much like yourself, cast out from Kyoto. But with some reprogramming, we were able to find some work for her.
Well, look at that. You did a good job because she looks like she's doing real good for herself. So, I mean, well done there.
Sable, some powerful people are going to be after her, and therefore after you. Please be careful.
I was afraid you were going to say that. All right. Well, I got everything I need from you, and we'll just I'll let you know if I find anything, but I'll head over and see what I can find.
Thank you. And as you sort of gear up to leave, we're going to cut over to a shop with Benten. Across town, we've got this sort of illuminated area where people can come and shop. It's Dotonbori. It's a big area for fashion and restaurants. Yeah, but most of it is now underwater. Instead, it's canals that people navigate through boat. But the restaurants and the shops that you find along these canals are still super high end. Among them, you can find a sleeve or body modification shop called Revamp. That's lowercase re, capital VAMP, all one word. And inside, we can see a couple of technicians hard at work. Benten, can you describe what the inside of this shop looks like?
Oh my god, it's like so good. Okay, first of all, there is just glass everywhere because people love glass with like water. That is like a very good combination. There are examples of sleeves that are being like towed up and down on these lines. They're constantly going up and down, so you can like see stuff like moving around you at all times. It's very, very.
And we're back. Nothing says technical difficulties like 300 years in the future. But yes, Ben 10, we were getting to see the inside of Revamp, this sleeve shop, body mod shop.
I will do a quick recap just in case y'all forgot. But
Yeah.
so it's very good. It's all glass. There's lots of sleeves going up and down. There's lots of motion. I find that motion confuses buyers and they feel like they have to pick something very quickly, so they just go. And I'm really into that. The staff are dressed very good. They all have like cool blue sunglasses because blue is like so in right now.
Good to know.
Yeah, it's really important to keep up with the color schemes or else you're just gonna be left behind. And yeah, it's just like a pretty cool place. I've got my office like up on the top floor in the back, and yeah, I'm just like chilling. I'm having a pretty good year, financially speaking. You know what I mean? And yeah, my shop is open to all who may afford my wares.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting that you say that, Ben 10, because right now you do have a sort of elite clientele list. People all over the city know that your shop, Revamp, is the best if you want some sort of prosthetic limb or...
Oh my god, thank you! Yeah.
or a change of some kind. And so you've got this name around town. But you've heard through your contacts that the local uprising gang, the Seppuku Tigers, they are starting to sort of make moves against the protectorate, against the government. Now, they only talk about that when the higher ups are out of earshot, and they only visit your shop when they need fixing of some kind, whether it was a scuffle with another gang or an illicit affair of some sort. They will come in to Revamp after hours, and you will trade gossip for fixing some suspect damage. Word on the street is that a pretty big key into Osaka-jo, the floating castle in the sky, has gone missing. This is a backdoor entrance into this members-only club, so this could be very valuable business-wise, but also it could be very dangerous if it gets in the wrong hands. This is sort of the rumor mill that has come to your ears. But as we visit the shop now, it seems like a normal day where people are in. One customer is working on this sort of prehensile tail that comes out of a custom tailored jacket. And yeah, you step down from your office and you can see your worker. What do they look like?
My worker's name is Beasley. He's very cool. He's a little stuck up, but he gets the job done, they say.
Sure.
And yeah, he's like he like gets good sales, but we do argue sometimes. That Beasley.
Got it. So Beasley looks up from his work and just goes, "Hey, boss, we got some new orders coming in, but we're keeping busy."
That's great. Can you get me a cappuccino when you get a chance? I did ask you like 5 minutes ago.
Oh, yeah. I was just working with the dermal regenerator. And oh, you know what? I'll drop it. And then he just scurries over to to grab. There is sort of there is a Jidohanbaiki, a vending machine that is within the shop, but it's sort of holographic. So he sort of pushes a few buttons, and a cup drops down, and hot liquid starts pouring into it. And he just sort of swivels around in a stool and gives it to you.
Oh, thanks. Very good. Okay, next time though, the blue one is a lot better than the red one. You know, the cups like they taste different. So
That's my bad, boss. That's my bad.
You know, it's okay.
And he just goes back to work. This client sort of gives a distasteful look at this exchange, and she is lavender hued all the way down, and again has sort of cat-like features along with this tail, and gives a sneering look at Beasley and just says, "Are you quite finished?" And Beasley says, "Oh yeah," and he just gets back to work.
Oh my god, I do love your tail. Tails are so in right now, right? How are you doing?
I am fantastic. It's so good to see you, Benton. Thank you for the compliment. And she sort of takes her time looking around.
Do I remember this person's name?
Yes. So she goes by Venom, and you know that this is a sort of high end business owner in the area. She runs sort of the drinking establishments, the izakaya, if you will, of the area. Um, but she always has the credits. She always comes in for top notch modification, and she's a good customer of yours, but prefers the elite experience.
So Venom, have you heard the word on the streetsies about this key situation?
It looks like you're getting some very good information.
Well, I don't know like too much about it, but I thought you might know more about it from hearing from your clientele. It sounds like it's like some super good goss.
And she looks over at this panel that you have displaying these sort of mini sleeves, and she eyes up one that's a pale blue, and she sort of looks at you and says, "You know, blue is very in right now. Perhaps for a trade, I could let you in on some info."
Well, I mean, I'm bored, so that's fine. Yeah, whatever. Let's do that.
And then she looks at Beasley and just says, "Make it happen." And he says, "Oh," and starts programming some stuff. She says, "The only thing I've heard is that it's stuck in some AI. It was embedded into their code, and they've been physically moved somewhere."
Oh, okay. So like we're looking for a sneaky little AI that has a key that's been moved. That's not like a ton of information. I don't even know where to start looking for that.
Well, I heard that it was actually a stolen AI. That, of course, it doesn't have a will of its own to go off and running, but that someone took a container that may have her in it. And she looks up at the sleeve again.
Okay, that's like some really good goss. Actually, I will totally get you this. Like, Beasley, move it! Oh my god!
And Beasley's just like, "Oh, yes."
But yeah, I think we have a deal. Don't tell anyone we had this little convo, all right?
The secret is safe with me. With that, we're going to cut away over to Satya. Satya is located in her apartment. Can you describe a bit what that looks like? Oh, I think you're muted.
Yes. Satya's apartment is an open loft. In fact, she's even knocked some holes in the roof that she like because she doesn't like being trapped inside.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, she's done that. She'll get it fixed sometime, maybe.
Oh, so it's an open hole.
Well, it's not a completely open hole. It's an open loft, and she's
Oh.
knocked some holes in the roof just to be able to see the sky better. She intends to put in a skylight sometime, maybe.
what's interesting is through your various random punching, you managed to punch out a hole that sort of almost frames the castle in the sky in the distance. So you've got that streaming in at night.
Totally planned, completely.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but her apartment is a series of inspirations that she has like spray hologrammed
Mm.
around her place. Like you see like different pieces. All of it is socio-political in nature. And the one that she's like working on right now is literally, it has the seppuku tigers walking alongside regular people. It looks like it's walking on water, but it's actually walking on the bodies of protectorate.
Wow. Okay. Wow. Strong messages.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So, just to familiarize people with it, the Seppuku Tigers are the local sort of uprising group. They are very against this sort of organized government with the protectorate and the Yakuza that have sort of created this elite system, and they're trying to enact change from the ground up. But they're a smaller group, and they do utilize terrorist tactics to try to get what they want. But Satya, you wake up in your apartment with an interesting message on your Oni. This is your implant. It sort of lights up, and you have a text-based message.
Okay. When Satya wakes up, she has a medium deep skin tone
Mm.
and both shaved sides. And then she has a faux hawk
Yes,
that's made out of like passion twists, but
love it.
it changes colors. So
Amazing. Yeah.
so that's like part of her camouflage thing, because it's one
Yes.
of the things that she does.
Is she fully wearing everything? Like that she just took a nap and now she's waking up. It's a bit later
Yeah.
at night.
Oh yeah, yeah. Any of her outfits, it's all about the shoulders.
Yeah.
Like it's feathers or it's metal studs or something like that. It's shoulders and boots.
What's
Uh,
what's interesting about this suit that you have on, even though it is sort of ostentatious when you're moving around and when it catches the light in the right way, if you stand still, you could almost swear it sort of blends into the background. Even though it's loud and feathers and bangles and things like that, there's this coating over it and over your faux hawk as well, that it's shifting in a chameleon of colors.
Definitely. And also she just feels like she's, when you watch her, when she's not being still, it feels like she's thrumming with energy.
Yeah.
Like you kind of get the if you're a very perceptive person, you kind of get the feeling that she might have spent a lot of her life indoors or being
Mm.
contained, and now is just like this burst of energy for
Yeah.
everything. So yeah, she when she like pops up and because she doesn't gradually wake up, she
Right.
pops up.
It's full on.
Yeah, she's asleep and she's awake.
Yeah.
That's that. She immediately brings up the text message to see what's going on.
Yeah, and you can see that this is an encrypted line that has come through, but you've had communications with this before. There are some past messages, but right now what has come in is your time starts now. And then attached to it is a link to an article on the array detailing the AI Yukio gone missing. Um, and underneath it is a signature of an emoji of a tiger.
Satya, after she gets up, like fist pumps,
Yeah.
like and like hops out of bed, like runs over to her kitchen looking for like coffee or something.
Yeah, they're
The
definitely
first liquid that she
stimulants.
finds, yeah,
Yeah.
like any kind of stimulant, like she needs it.
Right.
But she does that. She puts her stuff together, and she goes over to like this mural that she has up on her wall, which
Mhm.
to anybody else just looks like this complete abstract of different faces of different heights type of a thing.
Uh-huh.
And she looks at it, and she puts her hand on each one and she goes, "It's my time. It's my time." Like
Hmm.
she's hyping herself up.
Yeah.
Like and then before she leaves, she's like, "I never needed you." And then yeah,
And then heads out.
yeah.
So, from the article that you got, it was happening at Shochizuka, the kabuki theater that was restored by the Yakuza. And you know that that's not an easy ticket in. There are show schedules and things like that, and especially now being that their missing AI is actually a news scandal, it's even harder to kind of get in close. As you move across town and get in, are you taking? There are air cars that you could rent. You're pretty well off. You've got quite the influence and credits. So if you'd like to, you could take like a personal air car that sort of picks you up and takes you over to the theater.
Satya definitely takes a personal air car because on the way, she makes a couple of stops just to make sure that they know her presence is known. Like she's not sleeping on anything. Satya's out there.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. So
Yeah.
you're sort of broadcasting to whoever may be watching that you're definitely on the move and definitely doing something.
Yeah. And
Got it.
and also stay out of her way. It's like, this is
Ooh.
not yours, this is hers.
Interesting. Okay.
This is for them.
Yeah. So actually, I'm going to have you do a roll here. This is going to be up against Satya's willpower target, which is 5, which is actually pretty high. And it's going to be an intimidation roll, which you have as a D8. So go ahead and click on intimidation. And then your target number is 5. I'm not going to do any bonus dice, and no luck for this one. So let me know what you get.
I got a 3.
Great. So your target was 5. You rolled a 3, which is 2 degrees of success. So your message is heard loud and clear. You are being watched. This is your test. It has started. And they're scared.
Yeah. Then if it's 2 degrees of success, somewhere on one of the stops, Satya pulls out her kit and does like a quick little Satya, where it's literally from what she garnered from the article that was sent. Then you see like just a rolling head. It's like a rolling head, and then you see a hand picking it up.
Aha.
Yeah.
So you're saying like this is what's going to happen to you, or it's mine?
It's mine.
It's mine. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Message received.
Like maybe the signature is then the faux hawk with a passion twist. Like
yeah. Like a visual stamp.
Exactly. It's an emoji. It's an emoji.
It's an emoji. Yeah. Bitmoji or whatever. Sponsored. We're not. Yes. So as you're moving in closer to the theater, your air car, it's driverless. It actually comes up with an alert up on the windshield as you're watching the cityscape whiz by. And you can see the Osaka Police Department sort of symbol pop up and says that this is a restricted area at the moment. And so the car automatically is going to start to slow down, unless you would like to do something.
Then Satya's going to pop out and proceed on foot, set the car to wait in the area.
Okay. So
if that's a possibility.
Yeah, what I can tell you is, so the ground level is all water, and the air car was flying towards the theater. Now, as you approach it and it gets slower, you can look down and see the theater building itself is actually preserved in this sort of bubble that's keeping the water pushed out. So it's still sort of on the ground level, but there's this sort of technological force field that's around it, keeping the flowing water, and it's actually creating this nice aesthetic display as it dances with the city lights reflected in the waves. So the air car can get close, but it has to sort of get into this bubble to get access, and there's no real street level unless you want to go underwater.
Okay, is it a possibility then for for Satya to crawl out of the car and kind of use her car like a type of jet ski and whip sling herself into
Heck yes, you can.
The air bubble?
Sure. Yeah. Okay.
Did I already say she's Rufio meets Banksy?
That's true. Okay. So, What I will say this needs to do is you're going to have to override the security system of this car because it's not going to let you out with this police warning, especially
Okay.
suspended up in the air. But you can do it if you'd like to try.
I'd like to try. Let's
Heck
see.
yes, you would. All right. So Satya specifically has some equipment that might come in handy here, in that she's got a sort of jack on the back of her sleeve's head that can interface with a lot of different machines. And I'm going to say that we're going to allow you to interface with this air car. So you have linking as well. So you sort of link in with it, and you see that this is an order that is protected by Osaka Police Department level encryption. So that's what you're facing here. I'm going to give you a bonus die on this. So you're going to roll 2 and take the lower. And also, I'm going to put a luck die on this because this is the start of what is a series of crazy things to come, I'm sure. So,
Yeah, it is.
so
Definitely is.
let's see. In character sheet, go down to. Let's have you do digital networking under your acuity.
Got it.
So you're gonna roll that. This is your base stat is 3. This is gonna be hard, so I'm gonna keep it at that. So you're rolling a d12, trying to get under 3 is your target number.
My digi networking is D10.
Oh, you're right. It's a d10, but you're still trying to get under 3.
Okay, so target number is 3.
Yep, and then for bonus dice, we're gonna do 1, and it's gonna be a d10, same as your digital networking.
Okay. How this goes.
And then for luck, I'm going to give you a d4 because it's either going to be very good or very, very bad.
Yeah, let's see how this goes.
Yeah. So once all that's input, you just hit submit and tell me how it goes.
8, a 3, and a 5.
Okay, so yeah, your target
Like the luck dice is on the target.
Right, your target was a 3. You rolled an 8, and then your bonus was a 5, so you would take the lower of the 2. So we'll take the 5 because that's
Okay.
only 2 degrees of failure.
Okay.
In this case, the luck dice didn't come into play because it wasn't a critical success or failure.
Okay.
But for this, it's 2 degrees of failure.
Okay.
Now, I will say one of those is the Osaka Police Department has detected that someone is tampering with this. I will let you resolve the 2nd degree of failure how you will.
Okay. Yeah. So Satya is filled with a lot of ego type of a thing, and she's very certain that she will be able to, go ahead and hack her own car because like the man is trying to keep her down.
Yeah.
And not being able to do that, she literally like takes a boot to her own dashboard, like in the car, and it's just like, what?
Whoa.
Like, no, let me out of here.
Yeah.
Like, you can't keep me in.
Right. So I will say, okay, so here's what happens. This sort of conduct is known to happen in rented air cars sometimes. And so there are certain security protocols that do get initiated once the passenger has become violent. And so the police sort of gets notified, and you can feel the air car sort of descending down as what looks to you like a tiny turret gun sort of comes down. And if you were looking closer, you could see that seems to be some sort of dart embedded into it, or a syringe or something. And you see warnings flashing up all over the screen, all over the car, and saying, please calm yourself, you are being apprehended. Please calm yourself, you are being apprehended.
Okay. Satya is then going to go into total stealth mode to try to trick the car that somehow she got out anyway.
Gotcha. Okay. Amazing. I love it. We're going to come back to that. So as the car descends under the water, Satya tries to stay very still. We're going to go back over to Patch. Patch, you awaken with a start. It is later at night, and you know that you're off tonight, but you worked last night. Some terrible things went down. You know that it's normal for this kabuki theater performance to have the beheading and things like that, That's all part of the performance, part of the rehearsal that these actors go through. Um, Yukio, has gone missing. You were never able to figure out what that glitch was or what was happening. The boss, you're not even sure of his name. That's how disconnected you are from this hierarchy. Sort of told you to take the night off and don't come back until we say you can. So you're sort of reeling in your head and going it over again and again. What could I have done differently? How could I have saved her? What do I need to do? What does Patch look like in this moment as you're sort of figuring this out?
I mean, he's so. Uh, I'm. Did I black out and then suddenly wake up, or is it that I just
Think,
don't? I just don't remember. I feel like I blacked out.
yeah, things were a blur. A lot of stuff happened right after the finale of the show, and you know that the mechanism for this particular AI had gone missing, and that you were on record as the last person to have seen her, which has caused a whole lot of problems for you.
Great. Um, I mean, I think that I probably like just am in shock
Mm-hmm.
and have spent I don't even know how much time just like almost in like a vegetative state, like on my bed, just like laying down, trying to like just all in my head,
Yeah.
replaying like all of these things that have happened and not understanding like I know I feel like something is missing.
Mm.
And um the last couple hours have gone back and forth between me being completely numb and me like being like caged
Mm.
and wanting to get back to the theater
Sure.
because I know that there's some clues or something there and I have to find them.
Well, I can tell you this that your housing is provided through your family line, and you actually have a small apartment that is attached to the theater because this is your life. You live here, you work here, your family keeps it, type of thing. Speaking of which, are you wearing? I'm asking for a reason. Are you wearing any particular clothing or anything when you're in your free time, or are you sort of letting everything go?
Well, in my free time, if I'm alone, then I'm taking off this like giant bulky kind of cloak that I have. That's not sleek.
Mm,
It's not stylish. It's like very bulky around the shoulders and my back. Lots of like different kind of folds and to it. But if I'm alone in my room, then that's off. But you
great.
do notice um, that what I have on my back has been wrapped up
Aha.
and is like contained. So I have it like pressed up against me.
Great. So we see this image of Patch with maybe bandages wrapped around, keeping something down on his back, and also wrapped around his middle as he's sitting there flicking through the array, trying to assess the situation. And all of a sudden, these news stories start popping up that Yukio, this AI, has gone missing, and people are paying attention. And you're trying to put some things together, but you know that you need to find her first.
So it's almost as if it's like a uh, like a um, like a crime wall like a detective might have
Sure.
where but I have all these like windows open of all these different articles and I'm starting to like highlight and see if I can kind of put together timelines and clues because as soon as I get a lead I know that I'm gonna get the hell out of here.
Amazing. Yeah, I'm gonna have you do a roll for this. Um, let's have you do an intelligence-based roll with bureaucracy for this one. And we'll
Okay.
see what we get from that. So this is sort of out of your sphere of expertise because you're sort
Mm-hmm.
of a machines and software type of person,
Mm-hmm.
but you can sort of put these pieces together much like a programming language. So I'm going to give you a bonus die on this.
Okay.
Um, so when you click on bureaucracy, your target number is going to be 3 because it's
Mm-hmm.
based off of your intelligence. And then the die that you're going to be using for it is a D12. So add 1 bonus die, and it'll give you a drop down to select D12. And no luck for this one, because it's just relatively safe. Once all that's put in, hit submit, and let me know what you get.
Boom, it's gone through. Let's see. I rolled a
Great.
1 and a 2, I think.
Amazing. So you actually aced this. You have a critical success here, with 2 degrees of success as well on top of it. So I'm going to say that you're able to sort of piece this together. That Yukio, through the articles and the sort of dark array.
Was that a 12?
It's a 12, a critical failure. But you know what? I think I'm going to go the other way for this one, just because that's how I read it. And, I'm going to give it to you. I'm going to give it to you. You're putting the pieces together.
Oh, crap.
That there was this sort of like backdoor code or something like that to get into Osaka-jo, this giant floating castle in the sky, and that it was embedded into the code of Yukio, this AI, who was captured in some sort of device and swept away from the theater that night. This is what your instincts are sort of telling you.
Got it. How could I have missed this code? If that what my instinct is, that is what my instinct is telling me, and I've been servicing Yukio and spending all this time with Yukio, and this is the first time that this has occurred to me, then I mean I could just slump into my bed and how could I have missed this? This is huge.
This is a good line of questioning, because it leads you to come to the conclusion that this code was not embedded to Yukio earlier. This was something that happened relatively recently, maybe after you had the last maintenance session with her. So you may not have been the last person to access her code, but you were the last person on record to have accessed her. It does not look good for Patch.
I'm set up. Great.
Seems like that.
Okay. I need to I'm gonna try to see if I can hack into the surveillance system. I want to see if anyone I want to try to identify someone that was roaming around the theater where the AIs are held, especially where I know I last saw Yukio. I want to see if I can find traces or evidence of anyone that was wandering around there.
Great. Well, I can tell you, you don't have to hack into that. You, as the worker, have access to that. So you start combing through the security footage, much like you did the night of, and it seems like a typical night in the theater. There are people that are in their sleeves, and they're digitally too through holograms. It's a mixture in that audience. It's all like the elite level people, and you see yourself getting manhandled by this Yakuza boss, and you see the finale, and then the feed cuts out mysteriously at the same moment that your memory seems to be gone. It's been like this. Yeah.
When does it pop back in?
It comes back in once you see the detectives and the police line sort of in there. So it's after the fact. As you're scrolling through this, you actually get a notification up on your Oni as well, and it looks like there's this small blinking fox emoji.
Fox?
It's a notification that there's some text there.
I want to access that.
As you access it, you notice that this is coming from another AI. You can tell. This is a rather famous AI known as Fox. You know that this AI goes around the city and sort of tinkers with things. There's a rumor that they may repair DHF stacks, but mostly, they keep to themselves. You got into contact with them after working on a particularly challenging code with Yukio, and they also helped you sort of restore Yukio to help with theater. This message plays up and says, "I'm sending you an agent. We are going to help with the situation at your theater. Please, I beg of you, help." And the message cuts out.
I start getting my stuff ready.
Yeah. as you start packing things up, you notice on the security feed now live that there seems to be some sort of air car that is having a run in with the police that are nearby conducting the investigation. It seems to have gone off or set off some of the alarms, and you're seeing this footage now as this car slowly descends into the water below. You know that you can access the Osaka Police Department through a tunnel underground. So you have a choice. You can either go to the theater where Fox says he's sending an agent, or you can follow this lead down into. You're sure they're being taken to the police department.
So, initially, I thought if I'm seeing that unusual activity, then maybe this is another agent. Maybe this is part of Fox's plan. So I'm going to go intercept the cop, the car.
Right.
And if I can at all, I'm going to try. If I can do anything where I can get the car to meet me somewhere. So if I can hack into the system on the car, so that instead of taking them to the police station, like a nearby kind of side area that I know of near the Kabuki Theater.
Gotcha. Okay. So, for this, I'm going to tell you that you are going to get a bonus because Satya already sort of loosened up the pickle jar for you. And so there are some sort of pathways that have been left open. If you'd like to make this roll, it's going to be a digital networking roll under your Acuity.
Yep.
You'll get one bonus dice of a D10. And again, I'm going to put a D4 as your luck die. So this could blow up in your face. There are a lot of consequences for this if this goes wrong. Just letting you know.
Oof, okay, so my digital networking says that it's a D8. And the target number...
Oh, you're right. I was looking at the wrong player. Sorry about that.
That's cool. So my target number is a 5,
4.
it says? Okay, 4. Target number 4.
And you're going to get a bonus D8. And you're going to take the lower of the two, and a luck of D4.
And luck of D4.
So one fun thing with Roll20 is it'll pop up as catastrophe when it happens.
Oh my goodness.
So Patch, you see the security feed live, and it sort of you swipe it up to overtake the looped footage that you've been watching. This is now sort of a police feed that you've tapped into, and you're like, I could get into that car. And you start going away, I'm in, very hacker-like. And you run up against the Osaka Police Department firewall, which is very strong and has started coming back into your system. And you can tell because some of your data starts slipping out, and you can see printed in your Oni, Anthony Sato, your full name with your family's name. And the Osaka Police Department pops up underneath it and says, "You are being detained. Please stay still, and we will collect you momentarily."
Great.
Meanwhile, we're gonna head over to Sable. Sable, you've set off on your mission, and you've got these clues. And Fox has just asked you to look out for a friend. He's normally sending you out to find sleeves or DHFs or other sort of human characteristics. This is sort of the first time he's asked you for like an AI favor, because they sort of keep to themselves. How are you going about this? Are you going to head to the theater where Yukio had gone missing, or are you going to do something else?
Well, because he gave her some information and she was able to look at that, she would probably be on her way to try and figure out who this patch guy was, since he was the last one that was going on. So she'd be headed over there. She tends to ride like a little skateboard thing. Because it's very easy to just kind of like, tuck on her armpit or stash somewhere if she has to go in, and like people are more likely to steal like a bike or something like that, but like nobody ever suspects the skateboard.
Totally.
So she just kind of tucks that up, and when she gets there. goes looking.
We get this cool sort of intimate flash of street life, as they call it here in Osaka, because all of this is underground in the old subway tunnels, and there are sort of like sprawling malls that used to be shopping centers. But now people use it to get across the city when they can't afford air cars. Or they can't move in sort of the ways that upper echelons do. And we see Sable sort of getting used to this sleeve as she sort of skates past people. We see food stands that are up and they whiz by. There's smoke and neon as it comes through, and there's different chemicals being sold, and all of this is just flashing by you as you make your way through these tunnels over towards where the theater is. And you know that if you were to take like a left down this tunnel, you could go towards the center of the Coyote, which holds the police department. But instead, you go up into a secret path that you know goes up into the theater.
Yeah, I like the secret path. It stops from the judging looks of people as I'm skateboarding, but I like vintage things, so that's
Yeah.
that's my deal. And yeah, and she'll keep an eye out. Is there like something like a perception check of some sort?
Yeah, sure. So we can just have you do. Let's have you do a detection against your perception. So
Okay.
let me pull up Sable real quick. Your perception is 3, and we'll do a detection, which is D10 for you. So click on detection. Your target number is 3. Actually, I'm going to boost that up because it's just a simple perception thing. So your target number, can you put in 8 for that?
Sure.
And then no bonus dice and no luck dice for this one. It's a pretty basic check. And go ahead and click on submit for that.
There we go. I rolled a 6.
Great. So you rolled a 6 with a target of 8, meaning you have 2 degrees of success. Is there anything specifically that you're hoping to see that I could maybe gift you with those successes?
She's looking for if there was like any sign of a struggle, like since this is kind of like the back secret alleyway to this club anyways, like maybe she got like taken out through here, if there's any kind of like little pieces or parts that are like left around, because she likes to, you know, go through the scrap yards for Fox a lot, so
Sure.
little tiny things she's good at looking for.
Yeah.
And yeah, anything like that just kind of like stands out, obviously, that's like, well, that's wrong.
Right. So I can tell you that as you're looking around, you're sort of taking the time to really nitpick who's around you. You said yourself you're familiar with this area because not a lot of people are there. But you're noticing that the type of people that are there seem out of place. And as you're sort of putting these together, I'm going to give it to you that these seem to be undercover police agents that are sort of, they've found out about this other entrance to the theater. And as far as you can tell, they seem to be either guarding it or maybe looking for clues, much like you are. But they haven't noticed you yet.
She'll try and eavesdrop and see if they're talking to each other at all about anything, since they don't see her coming yet.
It doesn't seem like it because they all seem to be sort of keeping to themselves. They're just sort of positioned around. One seems to be looking at a magazine of some sort. It's a hollow magazine that he's sort of swiping through. Another one is, it seems to be like he's drinking something out of a paper bag, but who knows?
She'll casually tuck her skateboard under her arm and kind of like just walk towards the door casually, and she'll be like, "Oh, did you guys hear there was a new donut shop that opened up on 3rd? You should go check it out. Like, it's really great. It's like designer donuts."
Okay. So I will tell you that the one that has the paper bag full of something that he's drinking ignores you completely. Is you're just another noise in the street. But this other person looks up from their hollow magazine and says, "Donuts."
Oh yeah, they got like the custard filled kind and like the old vintage kind, and like some with sprinkles and coconut. It's so great. They even got like ones that are like rainbow and iridescent, like edible glitter and stuff too. It's so great. You should like, oh, it's the best place ever.
Is it close by?
Oh yeah, like probably about like a couple blocks that way. And she does kind of like point in a couple of different directions when she says it.
Okay, so let's have this be a roll. Hmm. I'm going to play on Sable's empathy with this one and do an expression roll. She has a relatively high empathy of 4, and you're going to be using a D8, and I'll give you one bonus D8 with this too, because it's sort of your thing.
So my target number is 8.
Sorry, your target number for this is 4. It's still pretty difficult. And then one bonus die of a D8 and no luck dice.
So number of bonus die is 1, or number of bonus die is D8.
A number of bonus die is
Take
1,
it.
and then next it'll be a drop down, and you can select D8.
Gotcha. Oh, look at that. Look how
Yeah.
fancy.
Great.
Yeah.
So,
It was a 7.
well, actually, with the bonus dice, you rolled a 7 on your regular roll and a 1 on your bonus, which is an ace. So we're going to take the lower in this case, which would be the ace. So you nail this. This person looks up and just says, "God, nothing else is happening here. I'm starving," and he just sort of walks off. Mission accomplished.
And she'll kind of be like, whew. And she kind of like winces for a minute and goes, I can't believe that worked. And her head does kind of like tilt to the side for a second. She goes, I gotta, oh, is it doing that thing again? God, why do they all do that? Oh, okay. All right. And she kind of shakes it off and walks towards the door.
The vendor that's behind this sort of like newsstand array, it's an AI, and they look at you as you sort of have your moment. And it seems to be an AI of a sort of like vendor of some kind. He's got this white band around his head and a festive coat of some kind and a fan in his hand. And he just says, "Ah, a glitch."
Oh, yeah, you saw that? Yeah, you mind fanning that over here for a second?
My pleasure. And he just sort of fans you for a sec. I've had my fair share of glitches. Just gotta reboot the system, that's what I say.
That might work in other instances. I'm not quite sure it'll work in. Will it work in my? I would. Por favor, mendigas, alejado de las puertas. Sorry. I do. No, wait. Maybe rebooting the system will work eventually. I don't know. I've gone through a couple of these, and that still keeps happening.
Despite everything that has just happened, he still is sitting there fanning you and just says, "Glitches, huh? I've had my fair share of glitches."
Glitches are bitches, my friend.
Gotta reboot the system, that's what I think.
You know what? You're right. You're right. You're right. Do you have a reboot button, honey?
Oh, rebooting? Like for glitches?
Yeah, just like that.
Yeah, you gotta reboot the system.
Oh, okay. And she's gonna kind of like look over him and look to see if she can figure out where his little reset button is.
So there's no active sort of reset button or panel as far as you can tell, but this seems to be the behavior of this AI. It's just trying to serve you in the best way in its own capacity. It's not really made for this sort of thing, and so it's just dispensing the advice that it can.
She goes, I appreciate you trying. And she will kind of head towards the door, and then she kind of slides her skateboard just like right in a little crevasse somewhere over near the door jamb.
As you walk away, you swear you hear the AI mutter to itself, "Glitches really are bitches."
Yeah, and she notes to self, she's like, depending on what we find in here, I might ask him a few questions later, but only if I really have to.
So yeah, you managed to find your way up to this doorway, which surprisingly is unlocked. This is an open passageway where people being the undercover officers seem to be coming and going, exchanging some sort of information. As you move up in this tunnel, you can tell that you're coming up to where like the ground level is, and things around this tunnel start to change. The walls become more decorated, and they seem to be made a sort of out of sort of like reinforced paper. and the floors become more wooden, which is rare to see nowadays because it's real wood. Um, and there seems to be a big collection of not undercover police officers who say, "Stop." And with that, we're going to head over to Ben 10 real quick, check in. Ben 10, you've got this sort of information that you've gleaned from your network. Venom, the client, has been happily turned pastel blue and is off on her way, content as a kitten. And you sit down to sort of go to work, as it were. What are your first steps? What would you like to do?
How close is my shop to the Kabuki Theater?
So you are located in Dotonbori, and you know that the goal of this was for tourists to be able to spend their money here and then maybe end the evening at the Kabuki Theater. So there's a direct sort of line of tunnels that go from your shop area into the front of the theater where you would greet the public.
Above water, right? Or
Yeah, it's protected with this bubble.
oh, I see. Okay. I'm gonna reach out to my friends, the Safuku Tigers, and see if they have any information.
Okay, so you know that you have one client in particular who is some of your best work, but is a criminal, so doesn't get the recognition or like photo shoots that you would hope. But you have a contact called Patriot, and the reason that you're proud of this is because he likes to smoke in his stack, this sort of or vaping rather this e-cigarette, and you've managed to rig it up to where there's this stylistic tattoo of a skull that comes down, and the nostrils of the skull end up here, and when he takes a drag, the smoke comes out of the nostrils of the skull. He's got sort of this shaved head and some more sort of indistinct tattoo markings. But that's who pops up in your Oni as you sort of make this call. And Patriot just looks up and says, "Uh, I'm not hurt, am I?"
Oh my god, you're fine. You're looking so good. I mean, thanks to me. I just had like a quick little question or like a maybe like a favor. You busy?
Uh,
Oh my god,
well,
you're totally not doing anything important. Okay, got it. So I have a quick question. I need to find some information on some stuff that went down at the Kabuki Theater last night. Do you know anything about that?
oh, well, I think there was something on the array that said someone went missing.
Yeah. Okay, that's like really old news. I meant like more specific information. Like, has the Tigers? Do they have anything to do with this? Did you guys like go in there and do a hit or whatever y'all call it?
It wasn't us. I mean, it sounds like something we would do, but we're sort of laying low at the moment. We're trying to increase our membership. So if this means you would like to get in on this action,
Oh my god, I super don't. But like, thank you so much for asking. It's really nice of you, but I would never do anything so boring ever. Um, Listen, I have a friend who told a friend that there's something good that came from one of the things that went missing from the Kabuki Theater. And I was hoping you guys, since you owe me a few bones, could help me get in
literally.
there. Yeah, I know. I know how that works. I make all the bones for you. They're really great.
So what, you just want to get in?
Yeah, I think I need to do this myself. You guys seem like you're real tired all the time or whatever is going on with you. I don't even really know.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Uh, and he sort of leans out, and this sort of FaceTime call, you can see that it's only sort of the bust of who you're talking to. He sort of leans to someone that's off camera, as it were, that might be in the room with him. And he just says, "Noise! We got anything?" And you hear something in the background. "Just a sec."
Okay, hurry. I'm like so busy.
"Oh, what? Oh, that place is crawling with cops." And he sort of forwards over a police report from the Osaka Police Department. and you can tell that this is an ongoing investigation. And what you get from noise is a security feed of this air car being sort of descended. You can tell because of the flashing that you can see in the windshield that it's being held by the police.
Ooh, who's that lucky person?
Uh, it just says Satya.
Is that one
actually,
of yours?
Sorry, it doesn't say anything.
Oh, cool.
It just says that it's a Violet passenger.
Okay, and you're sure that's not one of your peeps?
Actually, it can't quite be sure. And then they sort of pull up. Oh, there's someone else, and the name Anthony Sato pops up. They said this person's being detained or something.
Well, I guess if there's anyone suspicious, it's definitely this little group of people over here. Okay, cool. So, thank you so much for all your information. Please don't call me my personal line ever again. And oh, I called you. That's right. And yeah, I'll see you guys later. Bye. And just hang up.
Yeah. It goes out.
Beasley, I'm going out. Can you get me the thing, the going out package, please? What I'm asking Beasley for is I have a really cool looking backpack that's like all metal that has like equipment and stuff for breaking and entering or scavenging. I don't know. I just have these bags.
Yeah. What does it look like? What does Benten sort of look like in her going out outfit?
Ooh, okay. So Benton goes into her very cool closet that when I press buttons, it like changes me, sort of like in Clueless, Alicia Silverstone. It's like just, I change outfits like 4 times before I leave. The outfit I do settle on is this like hyper pink. It's like a jumpsuit, and it's really really bright pink. It's like neon, and it kind of like fades and like comes and goes,
cool.
because it is also a camouflage suit. Wink. That can change color or like blend in very like minimally to the background. I have by the way, I have a cyber arm. My left arm is fake.
Yes.
Forgot about that one.
All good. So yeah, as she's sort of putting on this jumpsuit, we see from like the camera perspective this pan up from Benten's left hand up this bionic arm. Specifically, what does your arm look like?
It's a really cool silver, like very nice, very shiny. Keep it very shiny. But it has little like the straight lines in it. I can like pop out and replace with like rhinestones, or put like a different LED light in there, or put like I can put like cobra skin in or some shit like that. It's pretty fetch.
What's the skin for tonight?
I'm gonna be putting on the I have like a water one, so like it moves around when I go, sort of like those pens, that when you shave like glitter in it and stuff like that.
Got
it. It's very cool.
Cool. So yeah, you head out and you're actually within walking distance or running distance to the theater, however you'd like to go about it. But again, you emerge much like Sable into this coyote underneath, which is so far from where you are. You deal with the criminals when they end up on your table, but you don't really mingle with the peasants.
It's so gross. Oh wait, I have a thing for this. Hold on. I'm gonna use it even though it's very dumb.
Oh yeah, I think I know what you're talking about.
My equipment. Hold on.
Yeah. So as you're walking through, there's some steam that's coming out through some of these shops, and sometimes there will be a leak that's coming down because even though people live here, it's all still underwater. And particularly, there seems to be a strong sort of fall of water that comes down on Benton's head, but then sort of gets displaced and moved away with a bit of force and splashes onto some people that were just kind of nearby. And
yes, the commoners.
Just keeps on her merry way.
That is my environmental repulsor.
Yeah.
I don't remember what it was called. And it's for battling, but I just use it for like weather.
And weather.
I am riding like a cool future version of whatever a Razor scooter is.
Yeah. It's still a rental. You just use your thumb for credits. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So I just go. I don't let any air touch my hair.
Nice. Yeah, you make your way to the front of the theater, and you can see that it is indeed swarming with Osaka Police Department. But everything seems to be sort of lackadaisical. It's not like an intense murder scene or something like that. There are police officers there, but they're just kind of milling about.
Do I see the like side situation with Satya and Patch and all that, or? that somewhere else, or is that
That's
the same room?
that's somewhere else because it's actually she was gone underneath the water to
Okay.
and transported right to the police department.
Oh, okay. All right. That's fine. I was not aware of that.
Yes.
I go up to the front door.
Yeah, so as you walk up, you can see that there are police about, but they sort of pay you no mind, and an AI sort of springs to life in front of you. And it seems to be this sort of Japanese style man in a kimono and a hakama, or not kimono, but just a shirt that is similar to a kimono, and pants in a very traditional style, and just says, "Do you have your tickets for this evening?"
Oh my god, totally! And I just pull up my Oni and just like buy tickets for whatever show that is right now.
So as you pull it up, the public listing, everything is canceled at the moment.
Oh my gosh, my Oni is totally on the fritz. I definitely have tickets because like I made half of these kabuki sleeves are inside. So like you just like let me in. I've got like stuff to do.
Processing. I'm going to have you do a roll on this because it's very likely that you may have worked on one or two of those, especially in repairing. So I'm going to pull up Benton's sheet real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Let's have this be Uh, let's go with diplomacy on this one.
Okay.
So it's going to be your empathy score, which is 3. I'm going to put that's a pretty difficult target number. This is hard to do. Your diplomacy is a D10. I'm going to allow you a bonus die because of your backstory. You may have worked on some of these sleeves.
Okay.
You'll get another D10.
Alright.
And no luck on this one. It's either going to work or it isn't. But it's AI.
Is target still 5 though, right?
The target is going to be 3.
Oh, it's 3. Okay. Blech. Okay. Target is 3. Bonus dice 1.
Mm-hmm.
And it is a D. What'd you say? D.
It's the same as your
D10.
Diplomacy D10.
Yeah. Okay. Go. Whoa. Oh, wait. No luck, right? Sorry. This thing is
no luck this time. Yeah.
Okay.
Great.
We're all going to jail, I guess.
So, can you tell me what you rolled?
I rolled a 5, and my bonus dice, I did roll a 9, and the target was 3.
So we're going to take the 5 because that was lower.
Yeah.
And so it's only 2 degrees of failure. I will allow you to narrate 1 degree of failure. How would you like this to sort of play off? This AI is not buying it. There are no shows scheduled. It's conflicting with his data, but he sort of looks confused because there may be a maintenance thing.
So I'm narrating the failure part, right? Not something bad. Okay. I think that he puts me on like the blacklist.
Got it. So
for the theater.
Yeah, you can tell just by looking at this AI that you have now made the naughty list, and he sort of is taking in your information. And on top of that, he sort of shimmers a bit, and then you see him say, "This is the Osaka Police Department. You are being detained. Please stay where you are." And as you turn around, sure enough, there are some police officers there.
Are they people? Are they like
They're
robots?
people.
Or are they people? Okay.
They're people. And with that, I think we're going to take a quick break. So this will be a 10-minute break, and we'll come right back. Thank you so much for joining us. What a mystery! Hello, and welcome back to Altered Carbon Osaka Eternal. We have our intrepid group of heroes? Question mark? All apprehended at the moment. So, this is something that is happening to all of you. You don't remember falling asleep, but all 4 of you wake up. And as you look down and around, it seems like you remember something about handcuffs or some sort of detention methods, but not here. Here you look down and you see how you remember when you left. You're in this blank room that sort of has a tatami floor, so it's this woven sort of fibers of this dry grass into mats. that sort of lay out in a, let's say, like 5 by 5 square. And the room itself is paper door or paper wall sort of enclosed. It's elaborately gold paper with red accents. And you can see that there's sort of this soft golden glow that's emanating from the room itself. As you wake up, each of you look down and you're seated on what look like large pillows on the mats, and you each have one individually. And you're all facing the wall, but as you wake up and look around, you can see each other.
Well, at least they put me in the attractive people's room.
Oh my god, thank you. That's so nice of you. Hi.
How did we get here? I don't remember how. Who are you?
All I can tell you guys is this place is real fancy, and I'm happy to be here. I don't know who the hell any of you are. Well, except you. Are you? I think you're the person I was looking for.
Who?
You.
Me?
Patch? Yeah.
Yeah, that's me. I'm Patch. Are you? Which one of you was?
Oh wait, you're Patch?
Yes.
Okay.
So okay. We can get through introductions. Were all of you sent by the Fox? Is that why we're in this room? I was told that someone was coming to help me.
Yeah, you hear Satya snort when you say the fox. Like, yeah, wrong animal, but you're a Patch. You at the Kabuki Theater, and then Satya takes a pause and goes, "Nice."
Was sent by the Fox. Although that was quite a bit of manpower up there at the front. Keeping me away from you. Is that how we got here?
I don't know how we got here. I just know that I was. There was a car. I think you were in it. At least I assume that you were. Whoever Fox was sending to me was being apprehended in a car, and so I try to hack into. Actually, I want to check to see if I can. Can I tell if we're being surveillance? So I kind of like stop myself in the middle of what I'm talking about and kind of put my hands up. Hold on.
Yeah, as you do, you look down and you're wearing your large cloak. You're wearing all of your equipment and everything like that, but something feels off. And as you start looking around a little bit more, this looks very familiar because you're in virtual reality. All four of you are not in the real world right now. This is a simulation. And you, being an AI programmer, are familiar with it, Patch.
Okay. We are in a VR simulation right now, and
Oh, you think, handsome? You think?
I'm pretty sure. Actually, I do. I'm pretty. Yeah, I do think yes. So, how did we end up here? And I think we should maybe watch how we say what we say because this is probably being surveilled.
I am pretty sure we are in VR police jail, which is super gross. I'm pretty sure that you two were the ones getting arrested by the cops when I was on my way here. I don't know who you are, third person. But I'm pretty sure we should just like be quiet and like wait for our lawyers or whatever to get beamed in here.
At that moment, there all of a sudden is a bzzzt sound as a hologram projects itself, and you see it's almost like a stab in your heart, Patch. This is this same model as Yukio. It's not Yukio, but looks just like her. It's this dainty geisha in a full kimono, full makeup, traditional regalia, and sort of walks forward and says, "Are you comfortable? Is there anything else I can attend to?" And she looks at all four of you.
Can I get a fizzy water? I mean, I don't know if it really means anything in like virtual reality, but like a fizzy water would be so good.
She sort of smiles, this half smile, and as she moves her hand and sleeve a bit, you can see it's almost a dance as she produces this glass that suddenly appears in her hand and slowly starts filling up with sparkling water on its own. And she hands it to you with a deep bow.
Oh, very nice. Thank you so much.
Can I, since this is the same model, can I approach?
Yeah.
I'm gonna approach and take a look at the model, and if it's identical to what I've worked on. I'm going to
Mhm.
see if there's a way that I can patch into the system somehow because I want a way out.
Is there any way that I can help with that? Because I've got a number of things where I can directly go
Yeah.
into a system.
Well, here's the thing. Normally, if you were in your sleeves and in the real world, you would have all of these tools and equipment. But right now in VR, you basically have like a command prompt at your disposal. You can sort of get in the back way for both of you. So, working together, I can say that Satya and Patch, you can definitely peek behind the curtain of this simulation with a high enough roll.
Excellent. So as soon as I see like Satya kind of like reading, like clocking what I'm doing, then immediately I kind of fall in alignment with what Satya's doing as well.
Great. So I'm going to play a little fast and loose here. Patch, I'm going to have you be the main roller for this. And I'm
Okay.
going to have you do your data engineering role, which is under your Acuity.
Mhm.
And I'm going to add the bonus of Satya's digital engineering, which is not popping up.
D10.
A D10. So you get to add a bonus die of D10 to your roll.
Got it.
That is accounting for Satya's help.
Yeah, and you see Satya very, very low key, super low key, where she's like, "I read what you're putting down.
Well,
Let's do this, beautiful."
Patch is like elegantly looking through code in his mind, and Satya's just like, "Let's get in."
That startles like Patch kind of like jolts.
Yeah.
So now I have a multi-tool.
Right in the real world, but not in
Got
VR.
Yay. Sweet. Okay, so my target number is 4.
I'm gonna boost that for you. I'm gonna give you a target number of 5 because Satya's helping.
Got it. So data engineering, target number 5, bonus die 1.
And it's a D10.
And it's a D10. And no luck.
Correct. Well, okay, that's fine.
Oh.
What'd you get?
I rolled a 3. My bonus is a 2. Target 5.
Great. So we'll take that bonus of 2. So with Satya's help, I'll give each of you a degree of success since there's 2. So Satya, you're the one that makes the first sort of breach behind this firewall. Can you describe how Satya does this, or what does it look like?
Yeah, because one thing that the man never expects is that when you're able to use brute force in electronic form and to be able to get by, because they just think all of their security measures are just, what is it, computer tight. They just think it's there. It's like, and it's not. So sometimes like a direct force is the one that goes. So with that, she's going to connect with some outside people to do an outside distraction.
Got it. Okay, so I will give this to you in that you're in a sort of VR prison closed network type of thing, and with your degree of success, I'll say that you managed to break through that and are able to sort of access the outside world. And so Patch, it's actually 3 degrees of success that I've been notified. So Patch, I'll give you 1 other degree of success. Once we get breakthrough and we've got access, what would you like to do with your degree of success?
I want to I want to try to find 2 things. I want to see if I can kind of like a way out. Like I know this is virtual reality, but even in code, there's still passageways. So I want to see if there's like an opening in a passageway that can lead us back to the physical world or to wherever the core in this VR world is generating this information.
Yeah.
And
so,
if I yes.
So I'll tell you that as you're perusing the code, it's hard to look at this model of AI because you have to keep physically staring at it as you scroll through the data, and you come across something that's interesting. It's not exactly a way out, but it's sort of a loophole. If you can cause a glitch, then there's seems to be some sort of system function that would reboot. And if it were to reboot, all DHF stacks that are in this simulation would most likely be put back into their sleeves. Or you could be spun down, and who knows what would happen.
So I convey that to the group. I found what I think might be a way out. It's risky. If we succeed, then we'll be able to essentially re-emerge in our own sleeves, back in the real world.
And then also, there's a possibility that I could have a distraction happen in the outside world, so then maybe we can get away. But it looks like anybody here good with glitches?
You too. Were you ever in a bar fight in Shinjuku?
Wait, what?
Did you say Satya?
Yeah, Satya, you look familiar too. Were you ever in a bar fight in Shinjuku?
Oh, I'm sure I was.
So,
And I bet I won it.
Shinjuku is the name of a club, since the actual Shinjuku is underwater. But that is the sort of clientele at Shinjuku are sort of the fashion forward and the body mod technique sort of crowd. But yeah, fights break out there.
Yeah, Satya like looks at Sable for a second and goes like, gin and tonics extra lime.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I know you.
Yeah. Okay, so like,
you pulled that. Oh, they were gonna blindside me, and you pulled them right off.
yeah, you know, I was there. I was in a fight with one of my exes. He was kind of a well, you know, a real asshole. But you know, I saw that he was with that group, and like I saw them going for you, and I had to jump in. You know, sometimes a good like bar stool to somebody's back just makes you feel better about yourself.
That was much appreciated. I meant to like stay around. I had a second to ask the bartender what you drank, and then I made sure a drink went to you before I left.
Oh my god, I'm pretty sure I saw this fight. I mean, I did nothing to help, but I think it was very cool.
I absolutely know nothing about what you're talking about in terms of fights, but I'm glad that you enjoy fighting because we might need that momentarily. But I think we should focus on the task at hand, please.
Oh yeah, you said let's a way out. Let's just go.
Okay, so I'm still like kind of like accessing the stuff I need.
Yeah. And I'll tell you, too, the third degree of success is that you are still undetected as of now. So you can mess around for a bit, but who knows how long before they find you.
So we need to cause a glitch. If any of you know how to assist with that, that would be...
Oh.
I have a little knowledge with glitches. I can try and see if there's something I can do, but like I'm not real good at causing them on purpose.
And if I can do like I kind of do like an assessment. Is there something like a little? I want to assess like Sable's sort of state. Like, do I get that Sable knows how to kind of like hack and kind of cause this thing, or is
Yeah, well, let's do this. Let's make it a contested roll, and see what's going on. So, Patch, I'm gonna have you roll your empathy, read person. And then Sable, are you trying to sort of keep your secrets to yourself, or are you an open book, or are you somewhere in between?
I'm a little in between.
Okay, so I will have the target. What is that's in your character sheet? What is your willpower? I think Sable has pretty high willpower. It's the large gold number.
I think that says 30, right? That's
Great.
not the one in parentheses.
Okay, yes. So 3 is your target number there, Patch.
Okay.
And we're going to do this read person roll with your D12. No bonuses and no luck for this one.
I rolled a 3, I think.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So you hit the target. I'm going to give it to you. Since Sable isn't being particularly one way or the other. As an engineer, you get to sort of really analyze what Sable is. You didn't really look that close before, but her sleeve is a synthetic sleeve and seems to be made of pretty high-end parts. They don't interact well with each other, though, and that's the thing, is this sort of patchwork might be affecting her stack, or you might think that there's something wrong with the stack itself. but there might not be a way that she can control it that you know.
Okay. So as soon as I clock that, I'm going to. I look at Sable and I say, "We're going to need to take a look at this. We got to fix you a little bit." And then I'm gonna connect Sable to the AI that's right in front of me. I'm hoping to take these errors that I'm seeing in Sable and have them basically move into the system with the
Great.
opening that I found.
Okay, so since this is VR, you have sort of, and you rolled so successfully, you've sort of gained control of the construct here. So you move the simulation that looks like Sable over towards the AI, and as you move her closer to being in the same sort of occupying the same space as the AI, they kind of fuse, and you see the makeup sort of go on to Sable's avatar in here, and Sable, you feel this rush as um, there seems to be not quite a consciousness that's inhabiting this with you, but there seems to be another presence that sort of is being merged with you in VR. Satya and Benten, you've never seen anything like this before. Even in VR, the outcome of this is questionable.
So I kind of thought how you break these things if you ask the AI a question they can't answer, like what's the meaning of life. But this is cool too. I'm very impressed. This is real super cool. Is it gonna work?
Satya leans over while Benton's talking and is like, well, as far as I know, snitches are the one that get glitches. So
Sable, you have you still have your free will, you still have your consciousness, but again, there's this sort of nagging impulse that you feel to serve the people before you. You're not sure how you can help and in what capacity, but you just feel this need to, like, they're in need and you need to help them.
Do you guys need something?
We
You
need
need
the
water? You need some bubble gum? Oh wait, no, we were trying to get out of here, right?
Yes.
That's what we were doing. Okay. All right. Let me see if I can like focus or use the force or something.
So
And
Sable uses the force, and no,
am I
actually,
if I'm like kind of like intertwined with this other consciousness, am I able to like search through their consciousness and see if they know like a way out or how to get out of this?
yeah, you since you do work with AI, you're kind of familiar with their commands and things like that. So you easily can sort of access the code of this, and it looks like a standard sort of service AI, who is probably part of this construct. And again, you as you're looking, actually, I'm going to have you do a data analysis roll. Um, let's use your acuity of 4, and your data analysis is D8. I'm going to give you a bonus because you're sort of fused with the entity. So one bonus D8 added to it, and let's give you a D8 luck as well and see what happens. Okay. If you want to let us know what you rolled.
It says 2 for the roll, 2 for the luck, and 4 for the bonus.
Yes, so it's a success. You on your roll, you got a 2, which is 2 degrees of success under your target of 4. So as you sort of take a moment to meditate as you're looking deep within yourself, and find that second self of gratitude and service. And almost as if you're in another construct, you see this code with a big red button. And as almost on cue, in front of this Sable Geisha hybrid, a VR construct of a big red button starts floating up in front of her. And Patch, you know this is probably a reboot button.
Hit that thing.
Ah.
There it is. That's
I
the thing.
look at I look at the Sable AI like in front of me, and I try to like I search for the part of Yukio that was familiar to me, and I lean in and I say, "I'm coming to find you," and I press that red button.
Oh. You push the button, and for everyone, it goes dark. The As far as you know, the simulation has crashed. you all feel this churning sensation. Thank you, Geeky Inc., for rating also with a party of 73. Yay, welcome to the future. Uh, and all of you sort of blink your eyes open and take a moment to look at each other because you're all laying down on these tables. And you're all flat next to each other. And it seems like you're hooked, your DHF was hooked somehow into a VR simulator. Now that the simulation has sort of crashed, you're coming to on the table. And it's always this strange experience, especially involuntary, moving from VR to actual reality, especially since your whole existence is a tiny stack. Uh, but you come to, and Benten, you have the most experience with this actually, and your sleeve sort of comes up first. So you sort of spin awake, and you see the others sort of coming to, but you have full consciousness.
Can I move to unattach myself without
Yeah.
killing myself?
Yep. You move to, and it's a simple just unclick as you let yourself up from this table, which is weirdly easy, and that sort of sticks out to you. I'm just gonna give it to you because it's pretty obvious. As you look around, this seems to be like a cold metal sort of laboratory, maybe a morgue of some kind. And you see all of you were put up on this examination table, but around you, you see the spatter of red and blue synthetic blood just covering the floor and some of the walls. As you come to, you can see something happened to the sleeves that were here, and now they're in pieces on the floor. As all of you come to, Benton, you're the first one to see this, but it sort of hits everyone all at once. Whoever was holding you here, they also were rebooted in a way.
When Sable opens her eyes, the first thing she says is, "God, this day sucks," and then sits up and looks around and sees a little bit of that and goes, "Oh, and it still got worse. That's impressive."
Yeah, Satya looks around and goes, "That's what you get."
Yes, guys, it is like so dirty in here. Can we please leave? Also, I think someone's gonna try to come kill us in like a second.
The Patch is like kind of trying to contain, like immediately. I'm looking at myself and I'm thinking that was my blood for a second. I was like making sure that I'm still all like in one piece.
Are we able to get out of what we are?
Yeah, you actually weren't restrained. You were just connected to the machine, and they figured that was enough.
Okay. Satya is going to reconnect to any available machine because since she did that punch through before to connect to the outside world, she wants to set up a big distraction away from them.
I will say that carrying over from the VR, your Oni is still connected with a broadcast that's out of whatever safe system you're in right now. So you are connected. Who are you contacting?
Just local contractors of a particular persuasion. Perhaps ones that are very good at arson. Since we're dealing with a lot of police officers, Satya wants to give instructions to clear and detonate a controlled detonation of the vintage donut shop.
Okay. So, you actually, Satya, as being around the block a few times, you actually have the trait of Goon Squad. You've got this sort of muscle under your control. And so the call goes out. And as far as you know, the message was received. You haven't heard anything one way or the other, but it seems like the plan may be in action.
Yeah, Satya looks over and to all of y'all and is like, okay, listen, you beautiful people. So a sacrifice had to be made. Let's get out of here. We can't stay here. And you see like she's kind of like thrumming with energy right now. And she's like, hey, you can follow but I know that I have an AI to locate.
I'm pretty sure all of us do. If I'm piecing this together correctly, are we all looking for this missing AI that was in the Kabuki theater?
Well, I thought that's what you guys were sent to me to do. I thought that you were all sent to help me find Yukio.
Oh, it has a name, Yukio. Great. No, not part of this situation, but separately came by myself.
Are you looking for her then?
She apparently has something good, and I was looking for it. That's all. I didn't have anything to do with her disappearance. I was just trying to figure out where she was.
What kind of good thing does she have that you're looking for?
It's something that I just need for like work. Like it's not really a big deal. Like I just kind of need it for work, and it's like a whole thing. But I would
What
totally.
do you mean you need it for work? You can't.
Do we really want to talk about this right here, like right now? I mean,
good point.
Oh yeah, I'm just saying. I
Okay.
really enjoy like how your features are put together, but this is not the place.
Ben 10 goes to. Is the door locked? I try to leave?
Yeah, so as you hop off of this table, you actually splash in the blood that is just pooled around on the floor, and you
So
can see that it
upsetting.
was multiple people. But the door is not locked. It seems to be some sort of swinging door that goes out into a blank hallway. It's very sterile and metallic. And you're able to just walk on out if you'd like.
I want. Hey, everyone! Let's leave. But also, like, your shoes are gonna get totally effed. This is oof.
Sable's gonna follow Benton, but she'd also like to do a roll besides like just the AI blood that's like kind of is it like AI blood, or can I do a roll to figure out if it's like a combination of like ours and that? Or okay.
So birth sleeves and natal sleeves still have red blood because it's still a human being's body, but synthetic sleeves have blue blood, so it's a mixture. You could tell that the people that were working here were probably a mix of birth sleeves, natal sleeves, and synthetic.
Is it purple? Is that?
It's purple.
Can I tell how fresh it is, like how recent all of this has happened?
Love that. Okay, so let's go with Sable's. I'm gonna do her Acuity Investigation. So this is gonna be up against your Acuity of 4. Your investigation is a 12, unfortunately, but I will give you one bonus die because I feel like it. So you get another d12. And no luck for this one. I think, are you muted?
Probably.
Yeah,
because I'm bad at things. So bad that the roll was an 8 and the bonus was a 5 and the target was 4. So I think that's all just real bad.
Well, yeah. So your bonus was 5. We're gonna take that because it's the lower, and it's just 1 degree of failure. So also we have just had a second hype train, and a whole bunch of raids are happening. Thank you, the Lanard, for 5 subs, gifting the amazing things in the community. Thank you, we love it. Meanwhile, Sable, your investigation has 1 degree of failure, so you can't tell exactly how old this is or how long it had been going on. In fact, you don't even recognize who these people are. They don't look like they're part of the Osaka Police Department. They don't look like doctors or anything. It just made more confusion.
And so as she's walking out, she'll tell everybody that. She'll be like, I don't know, guys, this looks like more and more fishy every chance that we get, because like those don't look like cops or like anybody that like doctors. Like I don't believe any of them have ever been to medical school.
Yeah, and Benton and Sable, as you're walking out of the room, Satya and Patch, you notice this. You had mentioned about your shoes. There's definitely a footprint trail that you're leaving behind in this gory fashion.
Satya's going to collect a couple of lab coats.
Okay.
Throw it at people to wrap around their feet.
Yeah, so you look around, you're trying to find something like a lab coat or some protective gear.
Like, don't leave the man any prints to find you.
Yeah, that's the goal. And you do find some sort of like light hazmat suits. It's not going to really protect you from anything, but you're able to put on the sort of booties. for each of you, so you can shuffle around with your little. You can tear them off, so they're just sort of paper booties.
It's time to get out of here.
Let's
We
get
can't
out of here.
stay here.
Mm-mm.
So you go out into this hallway, and as far as you can tell, Patch, you recognize this as a sort of backstage area. You're still in the Kabuki Theater. Now, this is where it gets to be a bit of a maze because it all looks the same. It's this blank hallway, and you can either go left or right.
This is not familiar to me.
You know
This
that this
part
is
isn't.
part of the backstage, but you can't quite place where you are because you've never seen that lab room before.
No. Okay. Well, I know that we're in the theater, which I'm normally really familiar with, but I've never seen that room that we just emerged from. And so, although it's familiar, I'm a little bit lost. I'm left or right, which way?
Satya's going to take a second to plug into a nearby device to try to get this part of the map
Mm-hmm.
for this particular building.
Yeah, so there doesn't seem to be anything that you can jack into in the hallway. It's sort of a blank metallic corridor. But I can tell you, you can't physically connect, but your Oni may be able to digitally connect somehow.
Let's give that a go then.
All right, so I'm going to have you roll for that. Satya, let's have your.
Well, because I have a security protocol, but
Yeah. Yes, you're right. I will allow you to add a +1 because this is to detect security systems. So,
What's? Oh,
uh-huh.
sorry. Go ahead. No, I was just. I think you're
Yeah.
about to say what I was going to ask.
So I'm gonna have you roll for your perception, and since you can access this stuff, it's more about just finding out how it can help you. I'm gonna do it as a detection roll to sort of give you that bonus. And then your perception would normally be 4, which is the target number, but because you have the +1, I'm going to boost that up to 5. So your target is 5. It's a detection roll, and I will give you a bonus D8 because this is your specialty.
Can I ask one question?
Yeah.
How is detection utilized? Is that like with the naked eye, or is that with a kind of omni
So
sort of?
normally, yeah, it would be detection with the naked eye for perception, but I'm sort of fudging with it for this case just to find that information. So she's using sort of the human skills of detection just
Mhm.
in a digital format.
So you see, as soon as Patch sees that that's what she's doing, he's like ruffling through his pockets, and he pulls out this tool that just
Yes.
looks like a kind of like a almost like a visor.
Yeah.
And I walk up to Satya and I say, "Here, use this," and just as if they're glasses, just put that on just try it. So that's
Satya, you're offered this visor.
Yeah, Satya
Like a-
smiles and says, "Oh, thanks, pretty."
As you put it on, you feel that are you going to put both of the benefits into
two.
perception? Yeah.
Yep.
So you get another +2 with this tool that Patch is handing you. So
Okay.
your target is now 7, and you're
Okay.
rolling a skill check of D8, a bonus 1D8, and no luck on this one.
Okay, bonus. I'm sorry, skill check of. Okay,
One,
the target is 7.
yep,
The bonus dice is 1, and the bonus is D8.
yep,
And that's no luck.
no luck for this one.
Okay, got it. Yay!
Yeah. So you rolled 2 degrees of success for this one. So you full on pull up the map, the schematics of this place, and what I'm going to give you with the success is you're on a place that is not located on the map. This is off of the schematics. This is hidden from even the people that work here. You're in some sort of backstage for the backstage. With the other degree of success, I can tell you you're going to want to go to the right, and there may be an exit out there, but you can tell that this leads to a stage contraption of some sort, maybe a trap door. You can't really tell because the schematics are fuzzy. Uh, but the way to get out of this place is not a conventional door.
Okay. I relay that to everybody by starting it off with like, "Hey, gorgeous people. So this and let's head to the right. Follow me. I know where we're going."
I
Yes.
follow.
So you all head down. Satya, are you going to keep the visor on, or are you going to give that back to Patch?
Satya's gonna keep the visor until Patch makes a point of asking for it back.
Copy that. Benten, as you're walking down this corridor, you've decided to go to the right-hand side. You notice something that while the walls are metallic, the reflection that they have of you and of your sleeve, you're used to looking at that. Something is weird in this reflection. Either it's being projected in a weird way, or the light is coming from a weird direction. But whatever's you see is not. It's just a little bit off from your meticulously designed sleeve.
I kind of just look at my arms and stuff to see if it looks like how I think it should look like, or if it matches what the reflection is.
Aha, so let's have you make a roll for this. Ben 10, I'll pull you up. I'm going to do an Acuity Investigation, I think. So your target is going to be your Acuity of 4, and you're going to roll your Investigation D10. No bonus on this one, and no luck.
Okay. So I did roll a 7.
Sure. So that's 3 degrees of failure.
I'm sucking it up this round.
No, it's all good. So I can tell you, as you're walking, you're sort of noticing that there's something weird. There's like a funhouse mirror effect, you think? And everybody that's walking along can see that Benten has just become obsessed with her reflection. And you can actually see her, as you're walking down the corridor, sort of veer off towards it. And you see her sort of stick to it, as if she were attracted by a magnet of some sort. Benten, you feel this compulsion just to stay where you are and to freeze and maybe put up against the wall in an unthreatening way.
Guys, this is like, this feels real good. I think like it's been very stressful for all of us this last couple like 10 minutes, but like I feel like we should just like chill here for a little bit. I don't know. I'm feeling really good about this wall situation.
That seems odd.
That's very strange.
Oh, wait, I know you now. You're the owner of Revamp, aren't you?
Oh my god, thank you. Yes, I am. You are absolutely right.
You say from the wall.
Yeah, I know so many people have gotten work done there. I was gonna send people there too, but if you're gonna let the man like take in right now.
I am not exactly sure what you're talking about, but you do have to trust me on this smoothness of this wall. It's like very good, and I don't know why. And I do sound a little crazy, but I can't stop talking.
You're like one of the best sleeve fixers around.
Right, I've heard of you.
I know you should have. I'm very good at my job. I'm crazy good at it. Are y'all gonna like join me or not join me? This is fun.
This is not fun. This is not. We're supposed to find a way out of here. I'm gonna walk up to Benten. I'm gonna try to like just kind of tug Benten away from the wall.
Yeah, and as you try to pull Benten away, I'm actually gonna have Patch do a strength check.
Oh, great.
So we're gonna take this as just a toughness strength check with your score of 3 as the target number. No bonus, no luck.
Here we go. 3 target number. No bonus, no luck. Oh!
Wait, is that an 11?
Oh no, that's why? Dang it!
I thought it was a 1, but it's an 11.
It's an 11.
So, luckily for you, the degrees of failure cap out at 5.
Okay.
So,
is there anything that the rest of us can do to try to like maybe do this same role of like pulling at Benton or distracting or something?
Yeah, normally I would say yes, but something happens. Patch moves over to sort of brute force Benton away from the wall and is experiencing this sort of magnetic pull as well. And you actually manage to pull her a bit out, enough that Satya comes forward and starts saying like, well, hey, what if we do this? And then Sable also is watching nearby. It sort of overcomes Patch, and you both go flying into this side of the wall, and it sort of swivels around as if it were a trap door of some kind. And the two, Patch and Benten, fall directly over onto the other side. And Patch, you recognize this flooring. This is the backstage. Um, and then Satya and Sable, you watch as they sort of tumble forward, and the wall sort of stops back and seals shut.
I
So
think
now,
that is the opposite of what is good. Maybe. I don't know. Satya, did you
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with you, charismatic awesomeness, because this is just that's not working for me. Who
uh,
knows where that goes?
Patch
Yeah, I
and
kind of agree with
Benten,
you.
you're on the other side, and you can hear this conversation sort of through a thin wall type of thing.
Do you
Uh,
think they're still attached to the wall right
I told you to grab the wall. The wall was good. Now we're in this theater. Just grab the stinking wall.
I'm looking around to make sure that everything is like as I know it should be. If there's anything out of place, I think I would know.
yeah, so I'm going to have you actually do a roll for that. Let's have you do a search versus your perception. So your target is 3, and you're going to roll a d12 with no bonus because you're a little bit frazzled at the moment.
Sure am.
Oh, actually, you know what? I'll give you 1 bonus since it's kind of hard. I mean, take all that back. Forget what
Got
I
it.
said. It's going to be a search roll. The
Mhm.
target number is going to be a little bit easier. I'm going to make this a 6. You're going to use your d12 for search, and you're
Mhm.
going to get 1 bonus d12 as well.
1 bonus D12
And no luck.
and no luck. My target was 6, right?
Yep.
And my roll was 4. My bonus was 7, so I got the 4.
You got the 4, so you got 2 degrees of success. Okay.
Okay.
As you're looking around, you can see that there are like the normal contraptions and the intricacies of running live theater. There are ropes and levers, and especially this old style of theater, and pulleys and things like that. But what you do notice is that there seems to be some sort of weird plate that is over the wall where you just sort of tumbled through. This
Okay.
you hadn't seen before. And it seems to be mechanical in nature and is sort of attached.
I'm going to investigate that plate and just sort of get a closer look.
Yeah, Patch, as you move forward, Benten, you actually notice this as well, because you sort of get up and dust yourself off and say, I told you so, and you move over and you see this plate as well. And let's see. So, Patch, I'm going to have you be the main role with your intelligence versus engineering, so that's a d6.
Great.
Benten, I'm going to have you add the bonus with your
Expression of empathy.
It's
very
sort
good.
of a tech check.
Damn
I'll let you add the search. So add a bonus D10 from Benten.
And is my target 3?
I believe your target was 6.
Oh, 6. Okay. Target is 6. And my bonus die is 1 or
A
no?
D10, 1 D10 from Benten.
1d10
Oh, so you rolled that. Okay.
and no luck.
Right. Great. Okay. So the target was 6. You rolled a 6, and so I'm gonna say you aren't familiar with this tech. It is interesting and fascinating and above your pay grade.
I do know that I could hear the others on the other side of the wall,
Mhm.
right? So I there's this plate here. I'm not familiar with this kind of tech. Going to start to describe in as much detail as I can what I see, so that Ben 10 can see it herself, but also so the others on the other side of the wall can have a sense of what it is. I don't know if any of you are familiar with this kind of tech, but this wasn't here before, and I think this might have something to do with where you are in the wall and the movement of this thing, this contraption.
So Satya and Sable, you hear this sort of muffled communication come in through Patch, um, and you're still on the other side of this glossy metal wall in the
I
hallway.
he's saying something. I don't know if you can make that out, but something about a technology that's letting us know where we are in the wall. Buddy, we're not in the wall yet. We're coming though. I think.
I just don't. I don't know how to use this. I don't know what to press on this or push or
Oh
what.
my god, just grab the wall. We just did. Just grab. Both of you grab the wall. I'm just screaming, grab the wall.
Yeah.
Yeah. Satya drop kicks the wall.
So do you take like a running jump? For
Yeah.
it?
Yeah.
So go ahead and describe this. I will say that the wall is going to fly open much like a revolving door. So have fun with this. How does Satya drop kick the wall, and how do
Yeah.
Ben 10 and Patch get sort of caught in the crossfire?
Satya goes, I know what this is. And then like kind of grabs on a Sable, and then without any kind of prep or anything is like 1, 2, 3, and then like runs for the wall to do like this drop kick into it so that whatever's on the other side will not surprise them.
In fact, you surprised the other side quite a bit. Ben 10 and Patch, you hear as you're listening for this communication, or as you're yelling, you hear Satya say 1, 2, and then the wall sort of spins around you, and it does a full like 180. I will say through some coordination, all of you end up on the other side of the wall in the actual theater itself, but
Toppled over.
yeah, it's a scene, and you can't be quite sure that you haven't alerted people to your presence.
Oh.
So you find yourselves sort of backstage in this kabuki theater, and Patch, you know that these wooden beams and the set dressing and everything like that was restored as much as possible from the original standing kabuki theater, but it's not away from technology completely. You know that this sort of thing can make different areas of the stage. It can sort of rearrange itself at will. It's very advanced, but looks very traditional.
Got it. So this is like basically a way that they can do like advanced like scene changes and whatnot.
Yes.
Okay. I'm just gonna kind of look around and I want to see if there is like a hardwired kind of place to maybe patch into. So I turned to the group and I said, okay, so this is the theater. I'm more familiar with this. We need to find Yukio. She's gone missing, and this is who everyone is looking for. I know, but we have to make sure that she's safe. She's not, and I look at Ben 10. She's not something that you can take apart and use as like whatever it is that you do. I know what you do. I know that I've heard of what you do, and I've heard that you do really good work. But this is not what Yukio's meant for.
Well, I wasn't gonna take her apart, but all right. I feel like I should be square with y'all because we've been through some stuff just now. Like Yukio's got like a key in her that somebody is after, and I don't think we want the wrong people getting it. That key leads to the big castle in the sky.
So you remember like all the like kind of like detective work on that wall, all
Yeah.
that stuff. As soon as Ben 10 says that, I'm gonna kind of like access it so they kind of see it happen right in front of them. These
And
are the clues that I
project it
put
out.
together. Yes, because I think I put this much together already, right?
Mhm.
Yukio is some sort of a key. She wasn't originally someone infiltrated this theater. I'm being set up to look like I was the person that I guess hacked into her and altered her, and I'm not. I care about the AIs that I maintain, and I care very deeply about Yukio. She's very special, and I need her to be safe. These are the clues that I've put together. Please promise me that you will help me rescue my friend.
Look, I know we just met and all, and I'll be
But
completely.
Fox sent you. Fox sent you for a reason.
Yeah. Up until now, I kind of thought you was the one that murdered her, but I guess you really do love her now, seeing all the look in your eyes, and you know
I
what you
don't.
said.
No, 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 no. I don't know what you're talking about. I mean, she's just an
Oh, come on.
He is so into her. It's so
I'm
weird.
just even I could tell. You know,
Well, he's
you are a
he's
ball of
much-
emotion.
I mean, that's fine. Don't people do whatever. It's not a big deal.
hey, it's good to be true to your feelings. So yeah, do that.
wow. I'm not. I wasn't expecting that kind of a response.
Yeah.
Was there
well,
any?
Oh no, I totally support. I'm just also saying, I mean, I gotta deliver this AI to people, so that's just a
Okay.
thing that's gonna happen.
Was there anyone in particular that like was cozying up to her a little more, like towards the end, that like you didn't really recognize around here since you're familiar with the theater and all? Like I see your clues up here, but like if someone had to jump out into your mind, like right off the bat, was you
Yes.
like, that guy?
Actually, I want to take you exactly to the place. So with that, I'm gonna move forward. I want to go exactly to where the Yakuza boss always sits.
Yeah. So
And
you
of course, taking care that we're not like I want to listen to make sure that we're not walking in on people that are going to kill us.
Great, good to know. Patch takes the lead and moves forward from the backstage, and again walks out into this empty theater, onto the thrust part, and looks down at the seat that this boss was sitting in on that fateful night.
And I point right to it, right there. There's a Yakuza boss. I don't know very much about him, but I know I watched him every time he was here, and the he would watch the show, of course, and seem to be into it, but he was into. There was something about her that he seemed to really just hone in on. And
I think we know what that is now.
right. Well, I don't know what to do from here, but that's the person that comes to mind, and he grabbed my face, and right before everything went black, he grabbed my face and made me look at the stage, and I felt like a pull towards. Yukio was kind of glitching. I don't know, Sable. You must know. Maybe that's why Fox sent you this way, because you're parts of you that are not all together, right? I don't know. Maybe you would have some sort of insight on that.
Yeah, let me think. And yeah, is there something I can roll to see if that
Sure,
jogs my
yeah.
memory?
Let's bring up Sable. Let's have you. I'll have you roll your acuity score. So it's going to be a 4 is the target number. And we'll do this with data analysis. So you've got that D8.
All right. You said 4 was the target number?
Yep. And I'll give you another bonus of D8 too.
Sweet.
This is sort of your specialty. No luck on this one though.
All right. 4, I think, was the best number.
Great. So the target was 4. You rolled a 4, so it's a bit of a wash, but you do feel this sort of kinship to this AI who is suffering from a similar affliction that you do. Only with you, it's a hardware software problem. With an AI, a glitching could mean a full reboot and deletion of their personality too. Any memories that they had accumulated could be dangerous.
Oh, and she'll kind of explain all of that and go, I'm really sorry. That's really terrible. Yeah, we should probably really get her back sooner than later. But yeah, that's a real big problem, and I'm not really sure that there's anything that I can do to fix it. Or like even when we get in touch with her, there's not really much I can do to help it.
How do we find her? This is where I last saw her. I don't know how to find her.
With the information that they've gathered so far that Satya's been listening to, with like Yakuza and then all these different walks of life that are coming to be interested in trying to find this AI. I'm wondering if I can do like maybe a cultures role to figure out maybe a lead that we could investigate
Yeah,
to have a direction?
I'll give that to you. So we're gonna use your intelligence of cultures. I'm gonna make the target number up a little bit just because you're using your own sort of information. So instead of a 3, I'll give you a 5, and then you'll roll your D10 of cultures, but no bonus, no luck for this one.
Is it possible then before this to connect with? Because I
You do have linking abilities, and you do have your biojack.
to connect in a way to just try to get some extra information just so that we can get a lead beyond this theater to get to.
Yeah.
Has any of that been said out loud
For
for
Satya?
Satya? Yeah.
Well, with Satya, I'd be like,
Maybe
I could see her pacing, like stepping off to the side, pacing a little bit, still holding on to Patch's visor that he gave her, where she'd be like tapping that, and she'd be like, "Thanks, Satya." All right, Yakuza, seppuku. You got revamp, and and the police are so involved, more involved than they should ever be on Yakuza property. Kind of a thing. Like who would who would have the guts to do this?
Yeah, it's funny that you're bringing that up too, Satya, because um, something isn't connecting. The Yakuza normally do sort of work with the police that keeps up their image, but there's something about the gory scene and the hidden room, and then this being empty now that's sort of not connecting.
It's like, who do you know that has the guts to do this?
Yeah,
that
so
they could get away with this.
Why don't we have you do your cultures roll then with the TR5, and no bonus, no luck.
Okay. Yeah.
So
Game is hard.
it is. Well, to be fair, I'm making the target numbers relatively low too because the things you're trying to do are relatively difficult. But I do have that you rolled a 9 for a target 5, so that's 4 degrees of failure. I'm going to sort of take these right now. So as you were looking and you're piecing this information together, it goes unnoticed by you, but you have tripped an alarm system. Something about using this network inside and that hole you punched to get out, they've caught on. And then as you're walking around, you're sort of pacing. You go up back onto the stage, and you're sort of looking for these clues, and all 4 of you get this alert on your Oni. It seems like this donut shop was blown to smithereens. It's the weirdest thing. They haven't caught who's done it yet, but the whole block smells amazing. And you can see now, as you're sort of scrolling through, that the police have sort of been diverted to that situation. Benten and Sable, I'm going to have you each roll just a flat perception. Actually, I'm going to have you each roll a detection roll.
You said Benton and Sable?
Benten and Sable, your target number is going to be 5, and you're going to roll your detection with no bonus and no luck.
I rolled a 4.
Great. And a 5. Great. Okay. So as Patch and Satya are kind of in their own world and they're formulating theories and stuff like that, they've moved to the stage. The 2 of you also sort of come together because you're trying to sort of figure this out. And the Benten, you feel like you're being watched. You detect that you're not alone in this room, and Sable, you also sort of get this feeling on the back of your neck like you're being watched. But Benten, your impulse is to quiet everybody, but they can definitely hear what you're saying, including any secrets.
Cool. Okay, kids, time to pack up shop, and we are getting out of here right now. Because yeah, I think we're good. I think we should do some investigation outside. And I'm just looking around at them, going,
Totally subtle.
Wait, there's one thing. There's one place I need to go to before we
"Oh my
leave.
god, Patch, always with this going somewhere."
I'm gonna go to where I maintain. I'm gonna just bolt and I say, "Follow me," and then we'll leave. There's just one thing I know I need to do before I get out of here.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go to the.
I'm gonna Patch. As soon
Yes.
as you take a step in the direction you're gonna go, something happens that is unexpected. You step down, and in the stage area, there's a depression that happens, and it seems like you've set off some sort of switch, which is weird because you didn't plan that, and that's your job, kinda.
That's not supposed to be there.
As this goes down, Benton and Sable, you both are like, oh, here it comes. As you have the instinct to look up, and down come these figures clad all in black from head to toe, including a mask. Now, Patch, you know that these are sort of the stagehands for the kabuki shows, but they do not look happy. They sort of pull out these small bladed weapons that then flip open again to have another blade concealed underneath, and they press a button and they start crackling with electricity. There's two of them that have dropped down on either side of your sort of four-person group, and we are going into some combat.
Oh.
Yay!
Okay.
All
So,
right.
I need you guys to grab your d6s, and you're going to roll the amount of d6s of your perception score, just flat perception. So it's probably either a 3 or a 4. Okay. And then you're going to take all of those dice and roll them and keep them separately.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm going to choose two numbers of my pool of d6s that have just rolled, and this is going to represent the initiative for this turn for these two actors. Each of you should pick one of the d6s that you're going to use for this turn, and that's going to determine the order. We're going to keep going until we run out of d6s altogether. Okay?
Do we want to be
Yep.
be close to your number, or just in the order of your number?
So you want to get a low number. Lower number goes first in the order.
Okay.
But you don't have to use your lowest number.
You don't have to.
Right now.
You can time it out to do whenever you want. Okay? So I'm going to reveal that they both are going to use 4s. What did everybody else get?
I'm gonna use a 3.
Okay.
You want all of our numbers
Just-
right now?
just
or
whichever one
what
you're
we're
selecting.
using? I'll use a 2.
So let's see. We've got Satya with a 2. Benton, what did you get?
I'll use my 6.
Benton is at 6.
Best.
Patch, you said
A
you're
3.
using a 3. And then Sable, which one are you using?
Well, I'll go ahead and also use it too.
A 2. All right, so Satya and Sable, you two are up first. They did get the drop on you, and so they are fully armed and ready, and kind of caught you by surprise, Satya. Sable, I will give you. You had a bit of time to prepare, so you can kind of do a regular action. But either of you are going simultaneously. So what would you each like to do with your intention?
Okay. Even though I got a 2 to their 4.
Say it's Satya and Sable. You both got 2.
Oh, okay.
So let me know. Like there are different things that you could do now. You could take an attack action with any of your weapons. You could try to move or to take cover or to ready yourself for any dodge.
Do I see any cover around?
It seems like you might be able to jump eventually off of the stage, and that might provide some cover. Otherwise, the backstage is full of ropes and things, and there's a full backdrop that you might be able to get behind.
Which direction did we come from?
You came
From the
from
backstage?
backstage, and these drop down from above.
All right, and I'm gonna try and I think the backdrop is probably where we're like headed back towards to get out of here when we go to leave. So I'm gonna try and uh, like kind of tuck and roll over that way and like get down low.
Great. Okay. So yeah, I'm actually going to have you roll for this. Sable, I'm going to have you do an endurance. Yeah, I think that's the best I can give you for this. So it's going to be a target 4, and you're just going to do an endurance check of D10. No bonus, no luck.
Who's doing that?
Sable.
Got it.
I rolled a 5 out of 4.
So there's 1 degree of failure. So you sort of tuck and roll to try to make a move back, but this stagehand is keeping its eye on you as far as you can tell. As you sort of move, it quickly sticks out its leg, and you sort of trip forward, and you actually fall prone. The movement was so fast; it's unlike any sort of sleeve you've seen before.
Holy shit! You just hear her yell out from the side. She kind of hits the ground.
Yeah, Satya, simultaneously this is happening. Are you aiming to move, or are you attacking?
I'm gonna attack.
Great. Okay.
Yeah. So while uh, while Sable is doing their thing, does that distract them in any way?
There is one that is distracted by tripping her in a way.
That's the one I'm going for then.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
What are you using? Are you using your blade or just punch?
I don't know if I could use my multi-tool for stuff. It looks
Not for
like
attacking. That's more for engineering stuff.
okay. Well, then in that case, I guess this is, the combat suit that I have already.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the combat suit gives me a type of camouflage, an active camouflage,
Yep.
no matter what. So I'm gonna go for an attack, but this is gonna be like, we're talking like, Samoan-esque style, I will eat the heart of your enemies. You're my enemy type of a thing.
Great.
Like going straight for the person that was tripping Sable.
Yeah. So you're attacking
So I guess
with your
it's
fists,
a melee.
right? Yeah.
I'm sorry?
You're attacking
With
with
a
like your
Tebet blade?
with the blade. Okay. So
That's
actually,
melee combat, yeah?
yeah. Well, either melee combat or brawl, it's the same one for you. So I will say, are you aiming to utilize the blade's specific properties or not beforehand?
Oh, yeah, I would want to, just to give them reason to, if they get hit, to then go away.
Great. Okay, so why don't we roll your brawl, and I'll give you a bonus D8 for that.
Okay, what's the target number?
Yeah, the target number is going to be 5.
Okay. Yeah.
Great. So you get yeah. Go ahead and describe what you rolled.
Okay. I rolled a 7, and then my bonus dice was a 2. So for the target of 5, it's going to be a 2, which is 3 degrees of success.
Yes.
So with this,
Yeah.
not only does like Satya's battle cry also discomfort the other person
Stagehand?
that
Yeah.
came down, where they're like, wait, what?
Yeah.
This isn't how we battle. That kind of a feeling.
Sure.
But you just see the mohawk go to fire red.
Right.
As Satya
Amazing.
barrels towards this person that their focus was on stumbling Sable.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's like this jackknifing slash to the back of their legs with that poison attack, to not trying to kill, trying to get them to have a whole bunch of fourth thoughts.
Got it. So I'm gonna have you roll for just the damage right now. So we'll say since there were 3 degrees of success, we'll have you roll 3d4.
Where
However you
do
want to
I?
do that. It's just like a.
I mean, I have 3d4 right here.
Do it.
Okay.
That's
Like,
perfect.
I've got
And-
the physical dice.
Yeah, and we're gonna add your strength bonus of +5 to that.
Okay. Great. 4, 3, 4. 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 plus 5, 16.
Yes, especially because they were distracted and weren't quite looking at you. You managed to sort of slip in and put this dagger. Well, actually, you're not slipping in. You're proudly proclaiming, "Ha!" And you jam this dagger into this.
I will eat your soul!
Yeah, and it's interesting because this knife has a sort of metal casing, and along with it are tubes, very thin that you can see, of some sort of purplish red liquid that, as you're sort of stabbing in, you activate, and it sort of goes into this stagehand. So why don't you roll another d6, and that's your poison damage.
Poison. Who wants to play? All right, this one. 4.
Okay, so you lunge forward with this righteous fury and actually stab it, and you can see this poison is pumping way faster than you intended. It starts to seep out into this black uniform, and the stagehand itself starts to convulse and twitch and just falls over. Next, we've got Patch.
So I'm seeing this happen, and I'm still like, I'm heading to where I know. I'm heading to where I service Yukio because I would normally do the servicing of the AIs because I know there's something there that I need.
Yeah. So you can go ahead and make a move. I'm going to also do this as an endurance check for Patch because you're going to have to get through another attacker.
Great.
So yeah, let's do your endurance. It's a D12.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to put the target at 6, and I'll give you another D10 as one bonus.
Got it. One bonus, D10.
Since it's the other stagehand is a little rattled by what they just saw, especially with Satya.
Ooh, my target was 6. I rolled a 5, and my bonus was a 6.
Great. So you have 1 degree of success. I can tell you that you're able to move sort of away from the main area of the stage, but you're not going to be able to get to the area where you sort of perform your maintenance. But there is sort of this hatch it just came to you that you can sort of open up in the theater, and you know that there's a separate sort of network that's in there. It's just the theater run. So it's like effects and things like that are stored here, but you do have access to it.
I'm gonna move there, and on my little like Omni device thing, I'm gonna try to access that message that that Fox had sent me. I just want to see if I still have a link.
So you can still access the previous message, but you are not receiving incoming messages. There's some sort of dampening field that's happening.
Got it. Okay. I'm gonna just try to get there as fast as I can.
Yeah, you're there. You're able to make it there. It's on the side of the stage, so you even have it open. What would you like to do there?
I'm gonna jump down. I'm gonna try to get.
So it's not a separate area. It's just like a panel that was hidden on the actual stage.
Got it. So hiding inside of that panel is like a data card, and I'm going to link into it. And this is and I'm going to download it. I'm going to try to download it to Sable since I kind of hacked it, not hacked, but I patched into Sable. It's basically every moment that I've had with Yukio, like memories downloading onto Sable.
So, yeah, I can tell you that you won't be connected to Sable, but you can download this into the actual panel itself. So the data will still be there for someone else to access and download, but you don't have a direct connection right now. Also,
I think that this is, yes.
Arcane Faith is rating with a party of 29. Thank you, Ash. Yay.
Woo! So this is I say, I say to the group, I think that, this is every moment that I spent with Yukio, every moment that I've would service her, and if there's something that's been messing with her, tampering with her, hopefully there's clues in this record that can show us something that can clue us in on what they were after and how she may have been changed.
Great. So as you get that out and you start the transfer, there is a look from or a startled motion from the other stagehand as you mention Yukio out loud. And it seems like you've caught their attention. Next up, it's their turn. And they just saw their friend get murdered, but also some weird things happening over there at the console, so they're going to go after Satya, I think. They just saw what happened and they're going to quick move towards you.
Does my active camouflage help at all? I've got a +1 no matter what.
Yes, it will.
That
help.
Was not very camouflagey, I will say that.
Yeah, but... it will help in this scenario, in just that it might help you to dodge an attack. All right, so let's have you... Satya, can you please roll your toughness for me? With a TR of 5. Okay. I'm going to do rolling real quick. Da, da, da. Okay, and then what did you roll?
Oh, do I get any pluses or anything to...
For that one, no bonus, no luck.
Okay. But I mean to the overall because of the camouflage or whatnot?
Oh, yeah. So I'm factoring that into their roll to try to get you. Okay. That it's more difficult for them.
Yeah, because also with my combat suit, I have a protection of 2 with it along with that. So active camouflage of a stealth +1 and protection of 2.
Yep.
And then it all depends on whether it's a ranged attack or an attack from an adjacent zone.
Gonna be it's not an adjacent zone. They're in the same zone as you, but it's going to be a melee attack with that weapon.
Okay. Increase to 3 when attacks me from an adjacent zone, distant zone. Unlikely to be targeted at all. The suit can have linked weapons and items powered 1. I have no idea what that means, but it sounds cool.
Yeah. So what did you roll on this toughness?
I rolled a 7. The target was 5.
Okay.
So that's why I was like, stealth +1. I've got protection of 2.
Yeah, so actually, with the things that I rolled and your combat suit, it's going to miss. Even though you got 2 degrees of failure, they were too distracted with what was going on, and they just totally biff it. Ben 10, it's up to you.
Okay, so wait, there's 2 people left or 1 person?
There's one left.
Okay, sorry.
Who's confused? Yeah.
Awesome. Can I turn on my vague cloaking ability in my suit?
The environmental repulsion?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then, just so I don't get blood on me, I don't know. I don't like any of this. Okay, I just go, boop. I want to just run up to this dude and just try to crush his neck because I've got a strong hand.
Yes, you do. You've got that bionic arm. So, Benton, you rush forward and you are trying to grapple this. Let's do a strength and athletics check for you. Because you've got your bionic arm, I'm going to give you some bonuses, though. So you're rolling your D12 for athletics, but I'm going to give you a D6 in bonus because of your arm. Okay. And your TR is going to be 5.
Okay, let's do this. 1 bonus dice. One bonus dice. There's D6.
Yep.
This thing's confusing. Okay. Oh, okay. I rolled an 8, but my bonus was 5, so I'm on target.
On target. Okay, great. So as you move forward, again, this is a confused stagehand, but you see your opportunity, and you, with superhuman speed, just move forward and grab it by the neck, and you start to hold it up, and then time seems to slow down for everybody. Benton, you're holding this stagehand up by its neck. It's struggling around. Meanwhile, the other one sort of bleeds out in front of Satya with this poison coursing through it. Sable, you're the one that sort of takes a moment to look over at Patch, who, just as he's finishing downloading into this console, looks up, and Patch, all that you see is the flash of a blade, and then nothing. Benten, Satya, and Sable, you see Patch's decapitated head land on the stage in a thunk. There's another stagehand dressed all in black that comes by and grabs the DHF stack out of Patch's sleeve and disappears. And that's where we're going to end for tonight.
Need new body patch.
Ah!
Oh my gosh.
Yay! Thank you all so much for joining me in Osaka.
Oh boy.
We've got quite a situation on our hands, huh?
Oh my gosh.
I would just like to say when Sable can't stand back up, she just yells at them, "Come back here, I'll bite your legs off."
Ooh.
Yay. Well, thank you all for joining me. We're going to continue this story next Tuesday at 6 p.m. Right here at twitch.tv/Hunters Entertainment. You can also join us for Hunters Gathering with Markia on this channel. I believe it's on, Saturday?
Fridays.
Oh, Fridays at 6 p.m.?
Yeah. 6
Great.
p.m.
And there'll be a recap of tonight's episode, including some other things behind the scenes. So definitely check that out. Markia, where can people find you?
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Markia McCarty. Like it says, MarkiaMcCarty. Yeah, and if you love horror content, please check out youtube.com/snarled. I'm a story editor and the narrator for Something Scary. And so every week we have animated horror episodes that come out on YouTube. And then also I do more stories for the podcast. So yeah, you can, Halloween time is now. It's September.
Now. Yeah.
It's now. So this is the time to enjoy. We've got a lot of really great content coming out. As far as Friday for Hunters Gathering, we'll have Jason Charles Miller
nice
as our guest. Yes. So yeah, expect good times, the music,
great oldies.
And then also we'll be doing a Gods of Metal Ragnarok playthrough that we'll be doing that Ivan Van Norman will be GMing for us. So go ahead and tune in 6 p.m. PT this Friday for all that wholesome rockness.
Yay. Michelle, what do you got coming up and where can people find you?
Hello. That was super fun, by the way. Thank you very much. You can find me at I Am Trey Bunny everywhere on the internet. I do videos weekly for Total Nerd on YouTube about video game deep dives. I believe this week's episode is about politics and video games and TikTok and all that shit. That's coming out Friday, so stay tuned. I'll announce it on my Twitter. And yeah, you can find everything else I do over on my YouTube at youtube.com/ChubbyBunnyMichelle.
Yay! Luis, oh, I'm so sorry.
I'm not. It's super fun.
Yeah, what you working on?
So, well, you can find me at Luis, Luis, Carazo, Carazo, on all the social medias. I have a couple things that are still, floating around. Had a short film that premiered at Outfest, and we just found out, and Outfest is done, but we just found out that I can't give specifics yet, but we were accepted in another film festival, so there's a chance to see it. I'm really happy with with the work that we've done in that, and the composer for that short film was nominated for a Spanish Academy Award. So
wow.
So yeah, so there's good filmmakers on the project. And then one of the TV shows that I did last season, I'm going to be coming back to this season. So you guys will have to kind of keep up to get that announcement down the road.
Nice.
That's what I got.
Yay. And then Melee.
Hi there. I am Melee Damage. You can find me on all the socials melee. This is down there. That's how I spell that. Not like actual like stabby stab melee damage, but like that kind of melee damage. Yeah, you can check me out on all of the socials. I do a bunch of things. I have a Patreon where I run games for people. Also, I did like a little thing for my birthday, and like I decided that I was gonna like release a single after like a decade and a half. So I did that, and it is available on all of your music streaming needs, your Spotify's, your iTunes, your all of those places. So like you should go check it out on
It's
YouTube.
good.
Like
Yeah.
thank you.
Hey, August birthdays.
Yeah, yeah.
Virgo power.
Woo! Also a Virgo. I've been Xander Genre, your storyteller for tonight. Thank you so much for joining me in this world. I'm so excited. We're going to continue this as a 3-shot. And so join us as we explore Osaka Eternal. Good night.